Give me, May didn't like the song. Lord have mercy. I am so sorry, May. Hold on, what is happening here? Hold on. There. No more echo, echo, echo. No more echo, echo, echo. Ernie, stop it. Stop it. We are proud to be an American. Ernie's starting shit over here again. I told you to stop it. USA. Tear Ernie up. Tear the hell out of Ernie. We win. We the people. We will always win. Don't ask me why I did that. I thought it would be a little funny. I know, Skunk. That is a classic. It's okay if you don't like it. We are good with not liking things over here. Twister investigates. You have moveth on. So keep moving on. Okay? For real. Changing your name. Oh, come over here and be nice. You just swallowed a cherry pit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I could see that happening. For real. Yes, it is an American classic. But it's okay because May likes Pavarotti. Isn't that his name? Is his name Pavarotti, May? I got his name wrong. May's going to be mad. Let me get my live chat up here. It was a small one. Why is your stuff being hidden, lady? Okay, I will definitely try to keep my chat up here so I can see you guys. Pavarotti. Oh, it's Bocelli. We got it wrong, Miss Justice. It's Andrea Bocelli. You know, the opera singer guy. Okay, we're going to start with this just because I find it freaking amusing. Hang on. The link to the content I am showing is in the description. Okay, this is Constance Sue has something to say. Now, there is music playing in the background. Constance has music playing in the background. Let me turn the closed captions on. Now, I am a commentary channel, and what do I do, class? I give my opinion. Now, I listen to some of the Hatfield and McCoy stuff. And boy, do I really want to give my opinion on that, right? Hatfield and McCoys can't handle the heat, so they're getting out of the kitchen. Well, that was fast. That was fast. For real. What happened, may I ask? Did they start fighting with each other again? You know, the Hatfields and McCoys, you know, they were fighting. They didn't like each other. Right? Okay. We all know Andrew Hiltz. He is Hunter's father. He laid claim to fame in the Summer Wells case as Hunter's father. Hunter's father. In the drama, well, they don't have to take. Look, I am going to say this. Remain Calm even said they should just do whatever they're doing. Okay? And if they are sincere on keeping Summer's name out there, then they should know how, as grown adults with a channel, on how to stay out of the drama. Should I give them a class? I don't charge for it. And it's one class and it takes 2 minutes. It is called STFU, right? That's what it's called. Oh, Skunk, I bet you they don't. They don't stop. Heck yeah. I mean, the guy said he was a law enforcement investigator for 40 years, right? I had great intentions of going for a swim in the sea today. I climbed about 40 really steep steps to the point I stubbed my toe on the rock. Oh, May. That's horrible. That is horrible. I have to remove your comment because you put BLOD in it, May. But I get you, girl. I feel bad for you. We are going to pray for your toe. We are praying for May's toe. Oh, Cindy Lou Who. I think they're still going to look for Summer from the way I understood. But they're not taking. I haven't watched the whole thing. Cindy Lou Who, don't tell me the ending, girl. I haven't watched the whole thing. Well, this is the thing. Okay? And I'm guilty of this too. I have not physically went to the area to look for Summer. There's plenty of other people who did that, right? So, I mean, were they expecting for people just to give them all the information that they wanted? I don't know. I'm not understanding. Okay. But we'll see. We shall see, Cindy Lou Who. Okay. Here we go.
Hunter's father. Thanks for asking.
Hunter's father. Thanks for asking. Rumor. Summer was being trafficked.
I'm not even joking. That is really... No. I don't believe that 1 minute.
You don't believe it?
I don't believe she was being trafficked at all.
He doesn't believe that Summer was being trafficked at all.
Even though there is a lot of that going on in Tennessee. But
yeah, we know there's a lot of that going down in Tennessee. Because you were there, right?
I don't believe that little girl was.
Do-do. 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 Do you think it's possible she could have been loaned out for a debt?
No. This day and age, no.
This day and age, no. Oh, Andrew, I wasn't even going to mention you ever again in my life until I came across this. Thank you, Constance. Step on the snake while outside. Cut down a couple. Oh, you guys are talking about snakes. Let me tell you about this guy. He's a snake. He's a snaky snake. He's a slithering little sneaky old snake. Hello, Exploited. He's a slithering, snaky snake.
I mean, it's all about the age and the weight.
All about the age and the weight. Trafficking children, it's all about the age and the weight. Oh, he's too much of a dumbass to be a snake. Well, maybe he's a dumbass snake.
plenty of things, plenty of shit when this trafficking came up out of his mouth, out of Don's mouth the first time. And it's all about, it's not just about the age or the sex, it's about the weight. That little girl was.
It's about the weight. See, I told you guys the only reason I'm showing this is because I wanted to prove to you guys that Remain Calm was not making the shit up about Andrew talking about Summer being trafficked. Now, he knows enough about it that it's not about the age or the sex of the child. It's about the weight.
Who's trying to be loaned out or trafficked out?
Constant.
Yeah. Since President passed that, knowledge is key law.
Knowledge is key law. What the heck is that? I did, May May. Did you miss it? I'll do it one more time for you, May May. Only for you. He's a snake. He's a snaky snake. He's a slithering little snaky snake. Is that a site? Even Constance is like, knowledge is key law. What the heck is that? Is that a website or something? I don't know.
You'll find a lot of things on the internet.
Listen, research it, okay? Research it. If you go to Google, research trafficking things, what most traffickers are interested in, it's young girls, but not white girls.
He's so fucking weird. He is so fucking weird. Okay, so we're gonna Google it just because it's me. I Google shit. Okay, we're gonna Google. What? What are child traffickers looking for in a child? Do wah. It does not even explain the what a child would even look like, because they do not look for specific traits. Now, maybe he was looking on the dark web. I do not look on the dark web, right? That is right, Miss Justice. He was looking on the dark corners of the internet, right? Child traffickers do not look for specific traits. Instead, they look for unmet needs and vulnerabilities that make a child easy to manipulate, isolate, and control. Doo-doo, 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 wah, wah, wah.
Not chunky girls, but, okay? And that goes the same for boys.
He's so fucking weird. Andrew, I forgot all about you. I don't know, May May. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo.
I hate to say it, but from the shit I read online and whatnot, it's all, like I said, it's all about not being picky. It's all about what sells.
He's so weird. It's not about being picky. It's about what sells. What is up, 606? Ages, yeah. Well, I mean, they're not, okay. So absolutely ages, but and this is just my thinking, right? That they definitely would be looking for a child that they could, groom and kind of brainwash into believing whatever they're saying to them, right?
Even in a bad water town like that.
Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo.
Sometimes homework's better than no homework, and when you can't sleep, you look at weird shit.
Okay, so he looks up weird shit when he can't sleep. Lord help us. Lord help us. All right, let's pop over to the Hatfield and McCoys. I am going to speed it up. I am going to put closed captions on. Look, you guys, it's okay if you don't like these people. It's okay if you do like these people. Fred McCoy seems to have a history with law enforcement. Absolutely. Duly noted killer looks. This is what I don't understand. All credit goes to the Hatfield and McCoy people. I am going to speed it up a little bit. Okay. Now, I may not go over the whole thing, but we're going to go over some of it. Could you imagine what's on some people's Google history? Well, I don't look up specific body types that traffickers would be looking for. I have never been on the dark web. You know why? I'm scared. The dark web scares me. Carrie, the dark web scares me. Hey, squids, I'm afraid, they're going to look up. Well, that's kind of stupid, isn't it? I was going to say, it scares me that they may find out who I am and where I live and send somebody to my house. But these dumbasses on freaking, wacky, whatever the fuck they're taking, they've already put all that shit out there, KK. They already did it to me, KK. It's like, WTF. You too, Miss Justice? Yeah. That's what you do to them. That's Remain Calm saying, show up, bitches. Right? I'm scared I'm gonna see something I can't unsee. Yeah, that's a good point too. Me too, girl. But then again, look who the fuck we're looking at on social media. Ernie Shell. Right? Nobody yet, KK. They already did, girl. They didn't win. They did not win. For sure. Okay, let's listen a little bit of this. This is Fred and Sheila McCoy Hatfield. Whatever their name is.
Stay with us on this video because this video is going to be interesting. But if you have any information, if you see anything that's suspicious or you spot who you think is Summer somewhere over the years, call 911, guys.
Yes,
don't
please.
Call Fred and Sheila. We thank you. Appreciate it. You don't have to call us. You call 911.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying don't call us. Call the Popo.
911 and get some police there and let them check it out. If it's nothing, so what? If they're any kind of police officer like they should be, you remember the old days, protecting and serving. I got you. But if they're any kind of police officers like we were back in the old days, they don't mind a bit. They come out. It's not her. There's nothing to it. Thanks for calling. Thanks for taking an interest and be on our way.
That's right.
Nobody should ever get mad at anybody for,
Hallelujah. I
I bet
agree.
you they'd run through a flame of fire if they find out it's her and they didn't investigate it. And all of a sudden you
That's
find the
right.
body or find her. Oh, here they'll come running. They want that glory then. We know all about it. I got
Ooh, are you related to this guy then, KK? Maybe some of that stuff that they said he was selling from the Hatfield and McCoy Museum, maybe some of that stuff is legally yours. Girl, I'd be finding out. Contact Fred and Sheila, the Hatfield and McCoy Museum Adventures. Oh, okay. Well, no, KK, he is both. He is a Hatfield and a McCoy. That's what he said. He's related to both families. I don't know. That's what he said.
guys, I'm gonna read you one paragraph here because on this video here, we started to do a live.
Yeah.
This video was going to be a live where you all could join in and we could chat and talk. I'm not somebody you do a live with.
Oh, I thought this was a lie, but I guess not. The chat's not there. Thank you, Carrie. My aunt and her husband had a museum. Oh, well, these people had a museum too, KK. I'm just saying, girl. I'm just saying.
I have no filter, and if I think it, I say it.
Yeah.
And when you're live, that's probably not good. Now,
I know. That's what they tell me, Fred. They tell me all the time. Remain calm. You don't have a filter. And you say fuck a lot. And you tell people to shut the fuck up. Yeah. That's what they say. Among other things. Among other things.
Phil and I tell everybody, when we started doing YouTube, we sold everything we had, put everything else in the family's names and so forth like that. We have nothing that's ours. We got to.
Why would you tell people that, sir? When they started doing YouTube, they got rid of all their assets. Okay? They got rid of all their assets. And maybe they made too much on YouTube. I don't know. I mean, just think about it.
2011 bus, but we have nothing. We don't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out.
Me neither, brother. Me neither. And half of America right now.
LLC.
Yeah.
We tried to protect ourselves because we knew some of the videos that we were going to do, especially on the Hatfields and McCoys, were going to be controversial, and we knew that some of the Hatfields and McCoys, or at least the McCoys.
Wait. I'm confused. So you gave away everything that was considered an asset because you started a YouTube channel that could be considered controversial. Does that have anything to do with them having to take reward money and pay it back to the Social Security? I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it sounds like they thought it out for real. I can't remember, KK, where their museum was at. I can't remember at all.
Had filed civil suits before. They had filed suits against other people that proved out to be frivolous, but they filed suits. So we knew that.
Oh. So what they're saying is, if somebody got pissed off at them, then they didn't have any assets for anyone who sues them to take. That is good thinking. Damn, you should have befriended some of these people on YouTube that are suing each other for real.
If you file one suit, you probably file another. So we figured, hey, let's get rid of everything we got, and that way we don't have to be afraid of.
That's right. Like JLR. If you file one suit, you're going to be filing more, right? So they're trying to go off grid to avoid paying their lawsuit. Yes, if there is a lawsuit, Exploited, did I say hi?
What we say, Sheila and I still try to be real careful.
We do.
We don't
We do.
want to be slanderous. We don't want to
Me
defame nobody.
neither.
Mm-mm.
But we want to be free from the first.
I got to be free, free to face the life that's ahead of me. I'm bored, I'm the captain. Okay, moving on.
Amendment to speak and talk and freely. Now I'm gonna read you this first. This is on our disclaimer.
They'll repo your van if will they really? They'll take the van? That's messed up, that girl. That is messed up. Sarah Ann, West Virginia is where the museum is at. My husband visited one time going through there. Wow. Wow. Yes, you did remain calm. Whatever you say, Exploited, I did. Okay.
You can fast forward to it if you want, but it's just a half paragraph.
Okay.
Disclaimer / opinion. Like we like.
That's right. Remain calm lives on opinions. I am so opinionated.
Like to say in nearly every video, if we have stated anything incorrectly, please contact us with proof and we will gladly correct it. How much more?
There you go. There's the magic words. If we state anything that is not factual, then send us the receipts. You know, we don't want to have to go look for them, but y'all send them to us.
Where could you be? If we say anything that's incorrect or wrong or frivolous, please tell us with proof and we'll correct it. Sheila and I do not want to intentionally disseminate any untrue or incorrect information. We don't want to. Doesn't mean we might by accident.
We don't want to, but it don't mean we might. We might just do it, but we're not meaning to. I completely get that. I know I'm being sarcastic. I got my resting bitch voice going as usual, but I can understand what he's saying.
Accident or through
Not on purpose.
stupidity or something, but
Yeah.
we try not to.
Proof
It won't
with
be
proof.
intentional.
Right.
Thank you, babe. It won't be intentional. It won't be malicious. It won't be with malice. It will be by accident, mistake. We want the truth and the correct information in our videos. You will not embarrass us, hurt our feelings, or make us mad. We will.
He's reading that. Oh, he's reading the statement. All right, we're going to I want to find where they're talking about the case.
Would it hurt to go talk to that person with him already or her having a past of that? As a police officer, I would think it would. A person's past often predicts their future.
Wow. Does that mean Dawn and Candace's past predicts their future? I don't know. I'm just asking.
If you want to know a person's character,
Yes,
just look at their
Gary.
friends. If you want,
What are you trying to say? I have good friends. I have friends in low places. So he's saying that, but yet they didn't research Summer's case to see who Dawn and Candace's friends might have been, right? The world is crazy. A policeman today told a lad he was sitting on a bench. If he didn't move, he would get him for loitering. So he sat with an elderly couple and the police walked off. Good for him, May May.
want to know a person's character, look at their friends. If you think you're going to see a drug dealer out here running around with Billy Graham, you're wrong. You're not going to.
I don't know about that. Right? Wouldn't that kind of be where a substance abuser and dealer would want to hang out with? Oh, Jesus's right-hand man?
See that. And you're not going to see Billy Graham out here hanging out and running around on a Saturday night with a drug dealer.
Oh, I don't know. If he's a preaching to him, no, you probably wouldn't see that with Billy Graham because he has a lot of money, right? He took up, over the years, Billy Graham took up a lot of money for Jesus. He did.
So if you want to know a person's character, look at who they hang out with. Look at their friends. If they hang out with thieves, abusers, things like that, that may be a clue.
I wonder if Fred Hill's gotten a hold of him yet.
Where two or more people are involved, one will talk.
It's been 5 years. I don't think Candace is going to snitch on Dawn, and I don't think Dawn is going to snitch on Candace. But I'll give you an A for effort.
Sure. I heard that when I was a rookie. A rookie in law enforcement. A smart old man told me that. The smartest man, probably the smartest man I ever knew in my life.
I bet that wasn't the sheriff that you snitched on, though, right? I don't think he told you that.
Told me that. Where two or more are involved, one will talk.
You really needed a wise old man to tell you that. Okay.
And I have used that many, many times in law enforcement. We're going to get to that here in a minute. We're going to
I think law enforcement kind of teaches you that anyway.
be discussing that some today in this video.
Okay, get to it. Oh, wait, they got a commercial. Okay, we're going to make up our own commercial. What about red light anti-hair loss comb? If you need, oh wait, that's teeth. If you need some new teeth, just ask Cher from Voices Behind the Wall. She said that she was going to start a kind of little, whatever you call it, to help people get dentures that I never saw. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anywho.
Where two or more are involved, one will talk.
Damn, you said
I'd rather
that
let my last one. Here's number. It ain't my last one. I had many over the years, but the last one that pertains to this case maybe would be: I'd rather let a guilty person go is to ever charge an innocent person.
I would rather I would rather let a guilty person go than possibly charge an innocent person. Mary, nothing's quite as pretty as Mary in the morning. That is a song, Mary. Have you ever heard it?
How dirty that must be. How terrible it must be to point that finger and accuse somebody as doing something illegal or wrong, and they'll be totally innocent. That's why
Well, a lot of them people, hey, L. Kennedy, I found what you were looking for. Are you still looking for it? Are you still looking for that about Marlena? I found it. My family are undesirables. No, they're not, May. Come on. You know they're not, girl.
when we left the property the other day of Candace and Don, we said we're not accusing these people. We don't have no evidence.
Right.
We don't have no proof. And she
No, and we don't. We have no proof. We have no evidence.
has always said she likes
Truth with proof.
truth with proof. If you've got proof, it's not hard to prove the truth. You just need to.
Did they ever prove if they didn't know Ernie Shell or not? I'm just curious.
proof. We don't like to accuse people or anything like that. Now, some of you may watch this video today and think, oh, they're accusing this one or that one. No, we're not. Just because this child was the daughter of Don and Candace, and we're talking about a missing child, and we're talking, now listen, if the shoe fits, strap that puppy on and wear it. If the shoe fits and you think this pertains to this person or that person, then so be it. That's just the way it is. We can't change the evidence or the proof or direction that we go with things. Now, when we left that hill that day, we didn't just forget about this case. Some people said, oh, that was just for the video. That was for clicks. I don't know how much we can emphasize that we don't care about the clicks. We do this as a hobby, and there's nothing better than putting that sweet little thing there. Look at that. Imagine that being your child. Imagine that being anybody's child.
And I agree. I will say this over and over. There's nothing wrong with what these people are trying to accomplish. Okay, there's not. And keeping her name out there is not a bad thing. It's totally not a bad thing. I think a lot of people, though, because he contradicts what they say so much. First, it was they didn't know anything about the case, right? And then it was, then when they started talking, they were saying things, and we were like, how would you know that if you weren't investigating this case? Now, yeah, I have it, El Kennedy. I absolutely have it. Ziggy also went over it. It's also on Lipsa's channel, but I have it on mine, where Marlena says that she's talking about Don saying he's seen he would see Summer in the resurrection. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, I'll throw my email in there for you, girl.
Where is she? Where is she today? Has she been abused? Has she been abused today, day after day after day?
That is heartbreaking. That hurts my heart. That hurts my heart. Right? It's vile accusation and morbid thoughts that are wrong and disrespectful. I'm sure that we've talked about that over. Thank you, Carrie. I'm sure that we mentioned over here, her being gone 5 years. Yes, that is fine, Miss Justice. Thank you so much. Siggy and Lips, the clip I'm looking for isn't. I will find whatever you need, lady. I am at your service.
Can she still be? Can we still save her? Can we still save her? Who knows? Only God knows.
Good Lord knows.
She's either savable or she's with God. If he points people in the right direction and she's still alive, we can save her. She's redeemable. She's got a life ahead of her. She's 10 years old right now. 10 years old, a whole life ahead of her. I'd rather let a guilty person go as to ever charge or accuse an innocent person. And that's Sheila and I's philosophy.
Exactly.
Well, there's been a lot of not guilty people being accused. That's been going on for 5 years, right? No, the only ones I know are Lips, mine, and Ziggy went over it. But Lips may have recordings of Marlena that she didn't put out. So that's always a possibility. I didn't hear, I don't watch Ernie, so I didn't hear exactly what Lips said to really know the context of it. So, hey, Josie. Yeah. Well, her face did look different in each of the pictures, right? For sure. Hey, J-Dub. RJ. RJ.
I had that in law enforcement. I always figured if couldn't prove the case, don't get an indictment, don't get a conviction, don't put them in prison on a chance that they were guilty. If you can't prove it,
Wait. If someone gets thrown in jail for a crime, and yes, some people don't commit the crime itself, but there's something that leads law enforcement to believe, or law enforcement has something that is going to show that these people need to be in jail for this crime, right? Yes. Let me say this, Archivist Tina. Lips, she butchers shit, right? She'll butcher something up to make it sound like something different, right? She was on. So unless it was something new, right. Because that's just the way she always did. I'll look at mine here in just a second.
wait for another day. Something will turn up, God will send more evidence, or they will commit another crime and you'll get them then.
Mm-hmm.
But don't ever put an innocent person in prison or accuse them.
Okay, L. Kennedy.
Had many cases such as my other slogan was, or motto was, once the cuffs go on, hands come off. Got nothing to do with this.
Shelby Shell, he pled to being complicit to the crime. You're absolutely right. Hey, Spread Love, good to see you.
This case, but cuffs on, hands off. When you handcuff a person behind their back, no more. It's over. I don't care if they're fighting like a bangy. Once you get them handcuffed, there's no punishment. You're not there to issue punishment. You're there to transport them to the jail and for the judge and the jury and the prosecutor to issue the punishment for whatever they did.
To effect an arrest.
You use whatever force is necessary to effect the arrest. That the law gives us the right for that. But once you effect that arrest, you don't have to beat the person. You don't have to, just because you've been in a 10-mile pursuit, driving like a maniac, which cops love. I never did understand why cops wanted to beat the person up after they got them, other than they're just mean people. Because cops love pursuits. They love it. Don't let them kid you.
Well, cops do get pissed off if they have to physically chase somebody, right? Or a good example is Ernie and the taser incident. He would not listen. They had to tase him so he wouldn't run out in the road and harm himself.
Nothing more exciting. Kids that play video games, oh, you should do it for real. Do it in real life. Only thing is, when you're doing it in real life, some people don't think it. Coming through that next intersection they're going through, maybe your son or daughter or somebody else's son. Usually the suspect never gets hurt in these races. Sometimes. Guys, I get off topic.
That's right. That's what pisses them off, because they could hurt someone else. That, yes, Carrie, they are putting others in danger. Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me.
That's all right.
That's just another one of mine. I've got many over 40 years, but okay, guys, in this video, we're still not accusing anyone.
No, definitely not accusing anybody. So please don't take it that way.
We are still not accusing anybody. Now, we didn't.
So they're kind of like, let's cover our butts, because we are saying things, but then we want to let Dawn and Candace know that we're not saying these things and still be our friend, right? Yes, Spread Love, you have missed it. You have missed it, ma'am.
Stop searching. We didn't stop researching. Sheila and I do our research.
Now, this is the thing that I tried to point out to people, but nobody listens to me. And I am not saying anything bad about these people, but holy guacamole. Before they even put the interviews with Dawn and Candace out, they spent an hour and a half trying to convince people what good guys they are. That's my opinion anyway.
We look for harder research. We go the extra mile, especially Sheila. Sheila does a lot of the research. But now it's time to take a closer look at what evidence or clues are out there. We're going to show you some videos, video clips. We're going to talk about some things. Doesn't mean we're accusing anybody. It means that we're looking at evidence, tangible, physical, visible,
Okay, do it, brother.
evidence that you can see and hear. And let's see what we all make of it together. Let's see if it proves out that it could be a clue as to what happened to Summer.
A clue.
Or is it just circumstantial? You know, we're going to talk about having a body and a witness. You have to have a body or at least a witness. If you're
Yeah, I'm surprised Don Wells didn't tell you that, sir, while you were up there interviewing him. He didn't tell you that, did he? He didn't tell you that. He already told us that. Don let us know that no body, no crime.
want to prove homicide and charge and convict, you can do it on circumstantial. You're going to have such overwhelming circumstantial evidence, and most prosecutors are not going to take that chance. But we're going to get double jeopardy and things like that after a while. But we are here for Summer. We're not here for anyone else.
Yeah.
And that's us.
That's the main.
Nana's Angels did not, J-Dub, have that box. Kathy the friend had the box. Candace told Kathy the friend, take it to law enforcement. I will pick the box up at the police station. Nana's Angels never had that box.
The main goal.
We want to respect the parents, Candace and Don.
Now, she talked about the box and the jacket in the box, right? I don't know, Spread Lab. I think it was already set up. I really do. But that's just me.
We respect them as of right now. They were victims also. They were parents. When we were visiting Don and Candace, we were wanting others to be able to see if there was any inconsistencies in their story.
Well, we appreciate that, sir. I think a lot of people could have told you that over the past 5 years, almost everything that came out of their mouth, there were inconsistencies. But hey, you walked up that hill and he was even out of breath. He was even out of breath. So they're talking about how, I mean, this guy was out of breath and they were walking up the driveway. So somebody walked up the side of that mountain and took a little girl and carried her back down. You know, I don't know if that person got out of breath or not. Sent the email for it being so wordy. You sent the last video that contains the clip being looked for. Okay, sweetie, I'll look at it.
We went and seen Don and Candace to see if what they had told 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year or last month, if there's anything that
Has changed.
somebody said, he can't answer the question, you keep interrupting them. I'm sorry. Everybody's got their own technique when interviewing or interrogating somebody. We're going to get to that in a minute, but it's called redirecting. Don't worry. Other people can redirect the investigator as well as the investigator can redirect them. Every time Don went to something that I felt he'd already talked about, and I do the same myself. I talk about things. People even comment and say, you say the same thing over and over. Well, if you say something 3 times to somebody,
I'll remember.
They'll remember.
I don't know if he's got asthma, but I think they said that he had diabetes or something.
That's the old adage. If you tell somebody something 3 times, they'll never forget that because they've been told 3 times. So there's a purpose for that, but sometimes I'm just an old repeat, maybe, I don't know. But Don would go back to what I would call as an investigator, a comfortable setting, a comfortable story. I'm not putting Don down. I'm not saying he's not even telling.
What do you mean an uncomfortable story? All he talked about was CPS and the border and Biden, right? Yeah, this is the newer one. Even though we are in the valley here, it's still very chilly. And that's a steep, approx 40-foot climb from the road. My ass couldn't walk up that driveway for real. You better have a good ass horse that I can ride up there. Who are you talking about, J-Dub? Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know it's still there. I already talked about it over here, J-Dub. But absolutely, her channel's still up. People can go watch it if they want.
Truth or believes what he's saying. We had already heard that and heard it about CPS, Mexican Mafia, Cornbread Mafia. We'd already heard it.
There it is. There it is right there. They already heard about it. The CPS, the Mexican Mafia, and the Cornbread Mafia. That was brought out at the very beginning. The Cornbread Mafia stuff.
So when I would go back, I wanted them to go back to the main beginning because the main beginning is what a lot of times people forget. They told that story in the main.
We have not ever forgotten. We have never forgotten the beginning of this case, period, and what was said. So many of us have just regurgitated and regurgitated and regurgitated till we can't regurgitate anymore. Yes, Don Cat, yes. Yes. They did not talk about Summer. They showed her picture, but when he asked, the only question that I heard him ask was asking exactly when Candace noticed that Summer wasn't there any longer. That question was never answered. Dawn spoke up, not Candace. Dawn spoke up.
Beginning, but over the years, that's irrelevant. Let's talk about what happened here or there, or where you was at, or what you said on this video, or what you said on this radio interview, or who you called and bawled out. And that's what they want to talk about.
And El Kennedy, just to let you know, Prayer Garden also spoke to Marlena. So were they just putting out what Marlena may have said on Prayer Gardens and not Lips? I don't know. Like I said, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Now, Sheila and I go to the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. We'll start from the beginning. He would answer that question, but instead of elaborating and keeping it going, telling us what happened, he would go back to CPS or something else. I'm not trying to be derogatory towards Don. I'm telling you the facts. You all have the.
And I'm telling you the facts. Don Wells allegedly was not at home that day. He was not at home that day. That is what I don't want people to forget, because Don Wells has been the one that has pushed the script. He's the one who has kept the script going.
3-part series there. You can watch it for yourselves and tell.
We did.
You can upgrade your home.
Hold on. Commercial. Here, I'll do my own commercial. If you want to have fun, come over to Remain Comms. I'm just joking. I am joking.
What we were doing that for is to let the investigators, guys, there's no doubt there's some good investigators on this case. There's no doubt there's some good police officers out there. There's good. They're investigating it. Am I going to agree with everything they did in this case? Are they going to agree with everything I put in these videos? No, nobody.
How can you not agree with what investigators have done on this case when I can guarantee you, Fred McCoy, that even though you are retired, whatever you were of 40 years, that doesn't mean that you can ring, 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 and they're going to tell you anything about this case. Don also didn't answer at the boys all summer that morning. He went to the boys, or the last ones to see her. Well, Lawson said very little about what the boys said, but Lawson did make a statement about what the boys seen.
Agrees on hardly anything, especially anymore, especially in the criminal justice investigation, especially as police officers. Again, sometimes experience or cases that you work over the years. There may be something that you can use.
Right.
Mhm.
Not everybody does everything the same way.
That's right, babe.
So everybody's different.
Guys, we're going to take our time on this video. We're not going to get in a hurry because I do talk fast. And again, this was going to be a live where we could just sit and talk.
We don't have any luck with live. Something always messes up.
She's talking about me, guys.
Well,
She's talking about
technical
me.
difficulties.
She's talking about kicking my leg off, trying to get me to when I get on something. But we were wanting others to be able to look for inconsistencies in Don and Candace's stories. Guys, remember one thing, if you would. While we're not accusing anybody, we're not pointing that finger at anybody, we're not casting that stone.
Exactly.
We're here to tell you that the TBI and the Hawkins Sheriff's Department says that nobody has been ruled out. Nobody has been ruled out. That means Don and
Yes, we know that. All right. We're going to have a little commercial break and remain calm. Here we go. Hello. Watch out for this guy. If you see this guy, oh, there he is. If you see this guy, let Mr. America know. USA for the people. Okay. Yes, that was pretty stupid. I know.
Candace, the parents, no matter how loving, no matter how sweet, no matter how convinced we are that they're innocent, doesn't mean they're innocent. It just means that that's what our view or your view or somebody else's view may be. And they are innocent.
Mm-hmm.
They are innocent until they are proven guilty. Even if they did it, they're innocent until they're proven guilty or they come forward and admit to what happened.
Exactly.
Yes. Sage.
When there's a child missing, it's all about that child. I heard somebody say, well, you said this or you said that. Guys, I'm liable to say
Yeah.
anything if it helps Sheila and I find a missing child. I don't care about people's feelings. I have no filter.
I think with a lot of us that, haven't physically went and looked for Summer, we do care and we do want her found. And I mean, personally, I think with a lot of us, watching Don and Candace, learning their behaviors, knowing that many people who befriended them and went to the top of that hill, they were fighting in front of these people that they didn't even know. So I don't think I would want to go up that hill, right? Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Sage. Thank you, Exploited. That is so sweet. Thank you for the jewels. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. Excuse me. Excuse me.
It's all about that child.
Yep.
The first people you look at are the parents. We all know that.
Always.
We're not telling people.
No. Immediate family, whoever's in that family circle with this child, believe me, they've did some research on them or looked at them. So
This video is going to get interesting if you.
There was no reason, in my opinion, for law enforcement to investigate Don Wells's family they didn't even know. They did not even know about Summer. And if you want to get into Pam Wells, right? They say she's no longer on this earth. But years ago, Don Wells came out and said that his ex-wife Pam Wells had a problem with math. So almost immediately, Don kind of put it out in the wavelengths that if Pam Wells spoke with anyone, that they could, not take into account what she had been saying, because she had an addiction. She had a math problem. Don says that. He says it. If I remember correctly, he said it to Chris McDonough, but I could be wrong. But he did say that. So almost immediately, he wanted to discredit anything that she had to say, for sure. What's up, KK?
Hey, love. I just who are these people? Like, how are they involved with Summer? That's all I want to know.
Oh, they just recently went up and did an interview with Dawn and Candace.
Oh, so they're kind of new to it? Or
They say they're new to it, but, their verbiage says that they're not new to it.
so they say they're new, but their actions and words say otherwise.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, I was just curious whose they were.
Yeah. They're the Hatfield and McCoy Museum Adventures. That's who
That's
they
wild.
are.
'Cause my aunt married a Hatfield guy out of Cave City, and they had a museum down there. It wasn't like he's not like immediate family of them, but he is a Hatfield, but
No, he says he's a Hatfield and McCoy.
that's wild. It's kind of
yeah,
like a
he's-
Romeo and Juliet kind of thing,
Something,
Yeah.
for sure. For
Yeah, I'm trying to
sure.
follow along. I'm like, who the hell are these people? Like,
Yeah,
it's just wild. People come in all these years later for Summer. I mean, I appreciate it, getting the word out there, but it's like, who are you? You kind of
Right.
side eye them. It's like,
exactly. Well, my thing is, don't tell the Summer Wells community that you are new to the case and you haven't even really researched it when they're contradicting what they're saying. And they absolutely have had to have researched it with some of the
Right.
stuff that they're saying.
right.
So,
It's like, it's confusing. It's like, no, you're not going to sit here and tell us this and that when we've been following it for 5 years, or it's like,
yeah,
yeah, I was just wanting to get
exactly.
some little clarification on who these people are. It's just weird when new people pop up like this.
That's them, darling.
It's like, is it clout, or are you really trying to help her, or what's going on here?
Well, I don't want to take away that they're not trying to help. Not at all. Because I think anybody newer channel or whatever, I mean, I don't find anything wrong with it. So, I mean,
people knew that's new, a new audience that you can get the word out. You can get Summer's picture out with. You know what I'm saying? But do it
right,
for the right reasons is my thing.
right, exactly. And, because of some of the things that they have, done on social media or whatever, it's making a lot of people question their authenticity. So,
And I totally get that. Us, it's been invested since day one. We're like, we side eye new people that come in because we've seen so many people jump on the bandwagon for clout or money. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
well, this is what I'm going to say. Anybody who says that they are going to go up there and they're going to do a new ground search and they are going to look for that baby, and I don't want to sound, I don't, there would be nothing that they are going to find.
Right, because they can't do nothing really that everybody else has already done all these years. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. I mean, absolutely.
I mean, there's people like I said, even you might not have been searching, but you've been covering this in depth since day one.
Well, and my thing is, I tried so hard just to keep the facts out there and
Mhm.
have conversations about what we do know that has came verbally out of a lot of people's mouths.
I don't know if this is the right slang, but you do kind of like pop culture of the true crime. Does that make sense?
Of pop culture of the true crime.
Like, pop culture is keeping up with like pretty much the famous people and stuff and putting it out there.
Right.
But like
right.
you keep up with the true crime part of it. You put the facts out there about different cases. You put the updates out there about different true crime cases and stuff and the new evidence that's been shown. You do
Right.
that, RC. You
I try.
document all of that,
Well, I
And
try to do that.
and I wish
I
more
really
people would do that. And you don't really pick sides. You might have your opinions, but it don't mean you pick sides. You're just there for
Well,
summer.
and my thing is, like I said, these people, I am not hating on them or anything, but I am not gonna get into a pissing match and argue with them about the shit either, right?
Right, because
Um,
it's like, what can they tell you that you don't already know? Or
well,
anybody that's
well,
followed this
that
don't already know.
I mean, that's the thing. If I knew everything, I would know where she was at. I don't claim to know
Mhm.
everything, but I have been around since the beginning, and
Mhm.
I do know quite a bit about it.
You do. Absolutely.
So,
You know everything, RC. You really do. And I'm not saying that just because, but you really do.
well, like I say all the time, and I have watched creators attack each other over wanting to be the only channels that have information. And I've watched people
Mhm.
demean characters. I've watched people go after smaller channels covering
Mhm.
Summer's case just to get him out of the way. I've
And
watched all
all
that
all
stuff.
it takes is one person, a nobody any of us knows, to say, "Hey, I seen her this day." You know that nobody else seen her. It takes that one person.
Well, this is my thing. We had people coming out saying, oh, I seen someone that looked like Summer, but
Remember that hotel incident?
yeah, that was Jenna. That was
Yeah.
Candace's friend that did that, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly.
That wasn't what, a couple years ago? That wasn't too long ago. They said they
Well,
seen her in a hotel and
that was when I know the one incident was when they were at Dr. Phil when that happened. They were at Dr. Phil when that happened.
was that when it was? They
Mhm.
all years run together, you know what I mean? It's like
But
it's
my
just
thing is, look, there are a lot of people throughout this case that have said things just to get attention.
That's what I
Okay.
said, clout. It's like I saw
Yeah.
all these new people. I appreciate it, like everybody else does. We appreciate, like I said, it takes that one person.
Right.
But we've seen so many people doing this for money in poor Summer's name, even her own
Right.
parents.
Right.
And it's
Absolutely.
just all these years later, it's just really hard to see new people come in and try to tell us. It's like, no, what the fuck? We're
Right.
Summer's army, if there's an army or whatever, but we're Summer's people.
Well,
I don't know. I'm all of us are
well,
very protective of our baby girl.
with
You know?
me, and people can go back and look, and it's very obvious. They kind of shunned me a long time ago. I've always said I'm here for Summer, but
I know you are.
none of those other crazy ass channels, ever want to have conversations or anything with me because I say they didn't know what I was going to ask them about. So,
Right.
and
Because you go on facts and
know.
and what's right.
and so many of them, especially people who inserted themselves and they went to 110, those people basically, they got pissed off at Don and Candace. So when they would get pissed off, then they wanted to come out and, talk about the DB up there or the substance abuse or this
Bingo.
or that. And I'm like,
Just because
well,
Don or Candace wouldn't fuck with them,
well, they would get
Mhm.
mad. They'd all start bickering and fighting with each other. And it wasn't until that point that these people would come out and say, oh my gosh, Candace said this, or, Don said this. And
Right. And
Don
it's like
and
it was
Candace were
okay at the
fighting.
time when all this was coming out, but you held on to that until it gave you a reason to use it as ammunition toward them because something
Right.
didn't go your way.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
And that has
I agree with you.
happened. That has happened a lot. That has
Mhm.
happened a lot.
I'm not really, because I didn't get involved with the parents really on this, but I've been that way myself. I've held on to stuff to use as ammunition.
Oh,
Like
right.
against Cher or whoever.
Well,
or-
I think we
I've
all,
done that, but it's like when it comes to a
that-
missing
yeah.
kid,
Yep. Yep. It's just
people need to
totally
grow up.
different.
I agree.
Well, and my thing is, does any of that really have to do with the day Summer went missing? We
Right.
already knew that they had problems with substances and alcohol and all that stuff. We already knew they were fighting back and forth, knocking each other around. We already knew all of that stuff.
Right. There's a documented history of that.
Now, not all of them, but many of them who were at 110 had substance problems. They had substance problems. A lot of people, and I'm not saying all of them, a lot of people that, became friendly with Don and Candace and, hung out with them, they all had substance problems,
I agree. I agree.
and
And it's like kind of they use that they had that in common, substances. If that,
exactly,
and it's like, hey,
exactly.
look, I got this, we can do this and I won't tell, but let's get high and then maybe you'll say something that I want you to say, or-
Exactly.
yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
And
And I don't know,
yeah, I agree.
girl. I mean,
I agree.
honestly. So it's just, I don't know. It did, this guy going up to 110 Ben Hill Road.
This guy
Uh,
went up there
Yes, him and her went up to
What?
110.
recently?
Yeah,
What?
they just trotted their asses right up the driveway.
I hate to
But-
laugh. It's the wrong time to laugh. But
Well,
it's like,
I kind of think it was set up. But the whole time, Dawn blamed CPS. They didn't answer any relevant questions that would have piqued my curiosity, because the majority of it was Dawn blamed CPS and Candace went off about YouTubers and how she got treated by YouTubers and
mhm,
how Ernie Shell was making her miserable right now.
mhm.
That's what that was all about. We didn't learn anything.
Mm-mm.
at all.
JW, I think anybody that went up there, yes, I think, in my opinion, they were absolutely using substances with them. And I love Benny to death, but Benny was in a really bad place then. And I'm not judging him. People know I love Benny, but I even think he might have been in on that at that time. I
Well,
don't think
I
he's doing
mean-
that now. I think he's clean and sober and doing fucking fantastic in life.
Well, you have
But there
to
was
look
just
at
so many Cam and Allie, Benny, just
yes,
all of 'em.
exactly. I mean, and some people that were in very good positions in their life that went up to 110. By the time they got away from that area, they were in serious trouble, for sure. I
Mhm.
mean, kind of crazy, but it's true. But it is true.
I agree.
and,
I
you know,
agree 100%.
And I've said that forever. We've seen individuals that went to 110 that by the time that they stepped back a little bit, their lives were so fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
their lives were so fucked up.
I agree.
And I mean,
And a couple I just mentioned, you know, and I pray Cam and Allie's doing good. I really do. I pray for them all the time. And, you know, just a lot of the early people that was in this, I pray that
well,
they're doing better in
we've
life.
seen a lot of them who ended up losing their children,
Mm-hmm.
including Don and Candace.
Mm-hmm.
We seen a lot of crazy shit going on, just
Yep.
crazy shit.
So like I said, we've seen it all in this case, and it's really sad. It is.
It
But
is.
like these new people that come in and try to tell us, it's kind of like, okay, we need some solid proof. Or
Well, this is
you
the
want to go up
thing.
here and search? What are you going to search that's not already been searched 1,000 times? Or
You know, I've said over and over and over, I cannot sit here and say that Don and Candace are guilty or innocent of anything because I don't know. I wasn't there that day. I was not there that day. And
Right.
people are going to look at, you know, my thing is, and I don't call out creators for whatever they want to talk about. Makes me no never mind. I personally don't care.
Just leave you out of it and let you do
Well,
your
some,
thing. And
you know, some people hang on every word that some of these creators put out.
I know.
That
Super
it's
sensible.
like-
I agree.
It's like use some common sense because
Hmm.
common sense will tell you that a lot of things that are being said doesn't make any fucking sense, right?
Hmm. I agree.
But to each their own on that for sure.
Good.
I mean, it's sad, but very, very, very true.
Or
Very
see, do you
true.
ever think that we'll find Summer and get justice for her, whether it be alive or passed along? Or I mean, it's
this
it's
is
really heartbreaking to even think about it. You know.
this is a thing. It may take years. It's look how long it's already been. And it may take 20, 30 more years.
It's
Some of these-
heartbreaking. That
It
baby
is.
girl, you know?
Well, I think it's the whole summer missing is devastating.
It
But
is.
then when you throw in the actions of Don and Candace, and you know, I don't feel bad about Candace and her little crying over YouTubers because Candace allowed those people into her life.
Candace
she-
made her bed.
She sure did. And
I agree. Both of them did.
you know, well, I'm not going to say Ziggy did. I don't know that.
I'm just talking about
personally.
Dawn and Candace. You know, they brought
know.
it and they acted fools on here. And
Yeah. And then when these creators start calling them out, then Dawn and Candace are victims. They're the victims. If you ever go back and look at anything that they've ever said, they're the victims, not their daughter who's missing. They're the victims. They're the victim of YouTubers, right? They're
Yeah,
the victim of
they are.
CPS. They're the victim of law enforcement.
I
They
agree.
are,
I agree with
they're
that.
the victims. They're the victims. So that
I
is-
agree because you
that's
know when they
what I
first when
believe.
any of these high profile cases that come about, none of these parents ever come on YouTube and think, oh, this is going to go viral. This is going to be huge. It's going to be a high profile case. They don't think that. They're just taking any opportunity they can to get their child's picture, their name, their story out there to try to find them.
Exactly.
They don't know all of this bullshit that comes along with YouTube and in true crime. They don't know
Exactly.
that when they do it. Candace and Dawn, I don't know. I don't care about their history. I don't think they intentionally hurt that baby. I've said this. They
Hey,
might
Nick.
know something, but they didn't know what was going to happen with these money hungry true crime YouTubers.
No,
didn't know that.
no, they didn't know that. I will
Mm-mm.
give them that. Because they, you know, they weren't YouTubers or whatever, but you know, I don't know. It's just a fucking mess.
I agree, Carrie.
It is just
It is
a
a
mess.
mess.
Hey,
It is a
Deb.
mess.
Well, like I've always said, if I had the answers, she would be found. She would be found. But I want people to know too that uh unless
Is that
unless
Nicolina?
yeah,
Hey, Nicolina.
yeah, that's
Bitch.
Nick.
I love her. I fucking love her.
Yeah, I've got a live she did showing Ernie stuff. I was gonna show it here in a minute. But like I said, Dawn has always made herself out to be a victim. Candace is a victim of everybody.
They're a victim, but they ain't. It's
Right. Well, they victimize themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And let me tell you, this is just the way I feel about it. When they went up there, when Hatfield McCoy went up there and were asking questions about Summer, Dawn and Candace, they already knew. They knew how they were going to react to these people. Dawn reacted with CPS. Dawn knew that with these people being YouTubers, that he was going to, get his mission is to make everybody believe that CPS took his child.
Yeah, because on Cher's channel way back in the day, when I was still friends with it, they done a live on him saying that CPS kidnapped his kids, which that's very fucking real. That really happens in
It does really
America.
happen. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think that's the case here at all. I think they are the reason fucking CPS took their kids. Absolutely, 100%.
And then Candace used the opportunity to bitch about YouTubers and what YouTubers had done to her. So where had any of that whole conversation, where was, and now granted, they did show him pictures of Summer and they were beautiful. They were beautiful pictures. They absolutely were beautiful pictures. But really, that's the only thing they even said about Summer at all. So I'm like, well, that ain't nothing new. And knowing that these people were YouTubers, they absolutely wanted to push their agenda. That was their agenda. CPS
And it makes you wonder, like, these people that wanted to look and stuff for Summer that's not YouTubers or not internet famous, quotations, as you would say, are they giving these same people the energy as they are these people that have YouTube channels? You know what I mean? For their daughter? Does that make sense?
Well, not anymore, I don't think, like they used to. Maybe I'm not. Say it one more time.
Okay, like, if it was just a regular Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street that don't know nothing about YouTube, that don't know nothing about TikTok or any of the social media, if they got wind of Summer's case and they were interested in looking and investigating for themselves without social media, would Dawn and
Right.
Candace give them same people the same amount of attention and information and stuff as they would somebody that's on YouTube? Does that make sense?
Well, that right there, I definitely couldn't answer because
Nick wants a link, RC.
hopefully that would be people that's not going to come out on YouTube and talk about
That's
it.
what I'm saying, because that kind of shows a little bit about their character if they don't give those people that's not on the internet the same attention
But look at
for
it
their
like
daughter.
this. They are admitting that they are not in communication with any law enforcement agency. So I do know that they allegedly have the private investigator still. And I know that the private investigator guy, Chris, he does not come out on YouTube, right?
And
He
Dawn
doesn't
and him
come
are
out
close
on
with
YouTube.
him?
Yeah, Dawn and Candace are close.
Oh, that's good then. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's what I'm trying to get at. Are they giving these same people attention? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just like, are they just doing it for people on social media?
Nick, I dropped the link, but I really can't answer that, but I do know
I get
that
it.
this is our opinion on these uppers or private investigators. I really haven't heard of a private investigator that has befriended a person of interest in a case like his wife has with Candace. So that was something that came out a long, long time ago. Was,
This Chris guy.
yeah, not Chris, but his wife and
Okay.
Candace are really close right now. And
See, I'm
so,
so lost on a lot of it. And
well, Benny talked about that a long time ago. That, you know, he even seen kind of like he couldn't understand that friendship, right? He couldn't
I
understand
get it.
that.
I haven't even been on here, RC. I love Benny. I don't even follow a lot of his shit anymore.
I know. I know. It's okay though. What's up, Nick?
I'm really confused. All right, somebody help me because everyone keeps talking about this new sheriff, Scott Stewart.
Right.
So he won the primary in May. And it looks like the general election is on Thursday of this week. So when do they get sworn in?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Because this is like, so our primaries are August, general in November, sworn in the first of the year. So if they
Right.
have their general this Thursday, when do they get sworn in? 'Cause
Uh,
I don't think it's gonna be in September.
That's a good question.
hold on.
And
I'll
I
find out.
want to know why everyone's putting their faith in this guy that isn't the sheriff yet. He's probably, I think it sounds like from what I'm reading, he is running unopposed, so he's gonna win.
Yeah, he's unopposed. Yeah.
But why does everyone just automatically think that? No, he doesn't get
He
sworn
will
in
be
on August 6th. The general
September
election is
1st.
August.
He will
Less
take
than 30
office.
Where do you see that?
I just Googled it.
Nick, I'm like
What?
you. I thought they all was like in the fall and stuff.
No, what
In the first of the year.
what does that say?
Scott Stewart.
That's AI. That's AI. That's not the actual county clerk's office.
Well,
AI gets it wrong.
Okay, well, Ronnie Lawson's retirement will end on Ronnie Lawson's supposed to retire on August 31st, 2026.
Okay. But that doesn't mean that Scott gets sworn in, because that just means that's when Ronnie Lawson is retiring. When does Ronnie Lawson's term end?
General
Because Scott's-
election
Yes, but what-
date is August 6th, 2026.
Yes.
The retirement date is August 31st, 2026. The take office date is September 1st.
See, that
2026.
doesn't make any sense. I guess maybe it's
agree.
because it's a Commonwealth, because like in let me give you an example. Our sheriff a couple years ago, he quote unquote retired because he ran for state rep, and he got sworn in as state rep during his current second term as sheriff, and the county commissioners had to vote to appoint an interim sheriff until the 31st of December of that year.
Well, it says he will secure the nomination because he's running unopposed in August.
Okay, yeah. So he's gonna win this week, but
Right.
again, that's why I'm saying, how would he be sworn in on September 1st? When does Ronnie Lawson's actual term end? Because he can't be sworn in before that without the county electors.
Well, that's
or
what it's
commissioners.
saying. August
Agreed.
31st. So,
This is a special election. Okay, that makes sense.
so
Okay, that makes way
Right.
more sense.
and I think people are really hoping that, okay, wait a minute.
No, archivist, most states won't leave it, but prior to the sheriff vacating for retirement or maybe a different political chair in a different body of government, they have to have like their county commissioners vote for an interim sheriff to take their place. But if this is a special election, then this makes way more sense.
Right.
And I'm sorry, just because there's new blood in the sheriff's office doesn't mean shit for Summer Wells. And I
Well,
hate to be the
think
way
a
I
lot of
am.
I think a lot of people don't have a lot of faith in Ronnie Lawson. They're hoping that
doesn't
the
matter.
new sheriff will have new eyes.
It's not
the
going to
new
matter.
The new sheriff has a lot of qualifications, and
Okay, but that doesn't matter. Ronnie Lawson and the TBI, along with the FBI, fucked this case from jump.
Amen. I agree.
There's not going to be anything new, and I hate to be a contrarian here, but again, we've got all of this summer shit resurfacing, and all of this fucking summer. It's like, you know how I feel about it. I think this is just, everyone just keeps talking about it. They keep dredging it
well,
up.
I mean, the thing
It's a
about
money
it
grab,
is,
in my opinion, Nick.
when
It's a money
fucking
grab.
Ernie Shell is out there doing his fucking deed, and everybody's showing his shit, talking about the case and stuff like that.
I'm
That's
showing.
not okay.
I'm showing his old shit. I'm not doing live streams and you know, RC, I was annoyed last week, and it's not just you. It's a bunch of people utilizing Summer again for content, and there's no new
Okay.
information.
No, there's not. There absolutely is not any new information.
That's why I came up here to ask about these fucking Hatfields talking about. It's like, what else can
Right.
you tell us that we don't already
I
know
think
all
they're
these
McCoys.
years?
I think they're
Or-
actually McCoys.
Whatever they are. I just think
They're
it's a money
McCoys.
grab, in my opinion.
Oh,
It
well,
absolutely is.
I mean,
Yeah,
It's
but
sickening.
Miss Justice, you can hold all the town meetings you want. If there is not evidence to support anything, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a waste of time.
Amen.
Well,
This little
I
girl, sadly, this little girl, I believe, is no longer living.
I
we
think a
need to-
lot of us feel that way. A lot of us
We-
feel
we
otherwise
need-
from it.
Listen, I believe, and I think you all have to understand, if what Candace, and I will always remember Candace and Grandis's original story. I don't believe Don's involved.
I don't either.
I don't know who's involved, except for I know that there was severe supervisory neglect. Physical neglect, emotional neglect, mental health neglect.
Why do you
And-
believe Don's not involved?
I
why do
believe
you-
that unless the only way he's involved is if she went missing before that day, and it was the night before, and he was home and he was part of it.
So you have verifiable proof that Don was at work that whole day.
I can only go by his alibi.
What's his alibi?
His alibi was that he was at work.
He says he was at work.
I agree with it.
He was at work. Obviously, that was checked out. He was at work. Otherwise, that would have come
Doesn't
out.
mean, okay, he was checked out from the time that he was coming home and called 911. That doesn't
Yes.
verify him
Yes.
as being
You know
at
what?
work that whole day. The whole day.
You don't think that the TBI utilized cell phone towers to verify his
Oh, yeah, I
geolocation, the
definitely know
geotagging?
that.
Okay.
And
so
metadata and all that.
If they use geotagging of his phone, they know that his alibi was concrete. Otherwise, it would
So
have
he
been
couldn't-
brought out.
So he couldn't have had a burner phone or anything.
Well, think about this. The phone that made the 911 call when he got to the home, they would have pinged and they would have secured that phone, and they would have seen where that phone has been.
Oh,
The
yeah,
only
definitely.
reason I know this here, the only reason I know a lot about this is there is an account on X. The guy's name is Tony Saruga. And Tony Saruga is the patent holder for every chip in every device across the entire world. And he knows he can pull any of that data at any time without a warrant. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Hold on.
What happens if the cold case don't take it? They have to verify it being a cold case first. Absolutely. They have to verify it, you know.
And I
And
think
let
to be
me-
considered
let
a
me-
cold case, it's like every 3
let me
years or
fucking
something.
say
and-
this. Let me say this. I mean, after all these years, I'm like, I don't care if somebody don't like me because I talk about the Summer Wells case, right? That
No, I'm glad
That
you
is-
do, RC, for
that
real.
is fucking tit for tat.
You know that I don't have a problem with you, right?
I
Right.
don't know. You come out
I have-
acting like you do.
No, I don't. I'm just
Fucking
speaking.
Nicolene,
no,
I love her.
No, fuck that. RC, I am coming to you because I can safely speak my mind on your panel without you
Okay.
throwing a fucking
Well,
bitch fit.
I appreciate you saying that because that's truly what I wanted to believe was that I always allow you to come on my panel and speak your mind. So I
And you know, it's
appreciate
good to have
saying
someone
that.
like Nicolena that's not in true crime to come and give her view of it because she's not in true crime. And I always love to
Right.
hear someone that's not involved in true crime.
No, I
Honest
absolutely,
opinion.
I respect her opinion. I do. I honestly do. Because I've
I
had
guess-
other people tell me the same thing. Absolutely.
Can
do
I
you
just say
guys
I
know-
hate these cases. I don't get involved in this shit. Now, will I watch like a quick like body cam video, or maybe I'll watch some like a documentary on a missing child or something to
Right.
that effect that's 30 minutes, hour max. And yeah, I will. And I don't get too in I don't get in deep because I don't know how people do. As a
Right.
mother, as a grandmother, the thought of all of the bad in the world, I'm not going to fucking trigger myself. You know what I mean? Into,
Right.
I've heard you say that before, Nick.
yeah. And that's
Yeah.
something, but Summer Wells' case at this point in the junction of the investigation has fucking infuriated me.
Right.
And it did a couple years ago. And now that Ernie's bringing it back up and PGOA, and then you're covering all of this and
Well,
Brooks.
Briar Garden's been out
Cover
there the
what you
whole
want.
time.
I know. And cover what you want. I'm just saying, I'm coming here going, this doesn't do anything for her.
If you're backstage, you have to show me who you are because I don't know who you are. So you have to turn your camera on or I'm not letting you up, even though I have my banner up.
RC ain't
You
a
know
rookie.
what? Purple Rainstorm, sometimes I'm a sadist and I watch
Oh, it's RJ.
just to
R-
watch and listen to see what people are saying. Okay.
Well, my thing is, I just wish the fucking little girl was found.
She's not gonna be.
And
I don't think so
I
either.
don't even think we're gonna find her bones.
well,
don't either.
that's good. That's a good point because that's what I'm saying about these people. They talk about going up to the hill, all fine and dandy. We heard the CPS again and again. Candace complaining about fucking YouTubers. And I don't care what Candace says. She should have never have fucking, hugged and loved on fucking Ernie Shell.
Or any of the people for that matter. Nobody.
Any of
involved
them,
in
even
this
Benny
case.
Keys,
Exactly.
and any of
I
them.
agree. I agree, Nick.
Look what
100%.
happened with Seth Rogers, or is that his name, the autistic boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
They make
yes.
it. This
Sebastian
is
and
they're made
Seth.
in, yeah, they're
Yes.
made into fucking circus shows. It
Yep.
doesn't help
right.
solve their cases or find them and bring them home.
Nope, not at
Amen.
all.
All fucking entertainment, and it's weird. And I say this, and people could probably rightfully so say it's weird that I have been on Ernie's ass for 4 years, and how can I must get bored. And then as a hypocrite, I say, how are you guys so obsessed with Summer Wells? Listen, don't think I don't know that I'm being a hypocrite. It's just a different topic, right?
Right.
I know
I
that.
get it.
And Nick, didn't you
just-
cover Ernie on Facebook and stuff before you
I
even came to
did.
YouTube?
I did.
I thought so. And that should say a whole lot for people that want to talk shit about you. You know, you weren't even a part of YouTube. I remember that happening.
I came from you or Facebook to YouTube specifically
Mhm. I
because
remember
of
that.
Ernie. And sadly, I think the majority of Ernie's supporters, they are doing so out of spite to piss other people off, like Tiffany Marie to piss Benny off.
I agree
Katie
on
and
that.
them to piss me off.
Absolutely.
They do it
Absolutely.
they want to boost his numbers, to infuriate people, and nobody, maybe 50 people believe that Ernie can do some shit. The rest
It's
are
rage
they're
bait.
just there to they're just there to troll and to piss other people off. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do too.
It doesn't matter, J-Dub. It doesn't matter. The minute your phone hits a tower, it is recorded with geotagging location. It doesn't matter how poorly the signals are. It tracks you. Doesn't matter.
Yet,
I'm telling you, go find Tony Saruga on X.
and I totally get that, but so Don still would have been tracked even if he had a burner phone that he left at the job
Yes.
site.
Correct.
And
So
Don's
his
story
phone would've-
hasn't changed. It really hasn't.
Yeah, his phone would have followed him. Do I think that Don's a fucking piece of shit as a father,
Absolutely.
a husband,
Yes,
a
I
son,
agree.
a sibling? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Right.
Amen.
Do I think that he abused those kids? Abso-fucking-lutely. In what way?
Mhm.
Probably every way.
Right.
But we don't have
Mhm.
proof of that.
Exactly.
Do I look at Candace over the years from what I have seen, and she has probably an IQ between 65 and 75, very low functioning intellectually. Top that with polysubstance abuse. Top
Exactly.
that with being highly attention seeking. You see how she behaves with the men
Exactly.
from YouTube that will give her attention.
Right.
Any of
Um,
them.
and not only that, they were more of a priority than the boys that she lost, because this woman, again, she was probably a product of fetal alcohol syndrome or
That
Grandis.
part.
Yeah. So that impacts her intellectual abilities. Do I believe
Well-
she is easily manipulated into doing what others want for the sake of her own survival? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yes. I
But
agree.
she's not
Did
willing
you
to
hear
be
about
honest.
her having fetal alcohol syndrome way back in the day? Did you hear that?
No, you can just tell by looking at her. She has the
Because-
facial features.
I have tried to look for it, but that came out like in the very beginning that she had that. And I've been saying it and been
I've
trying
never
to
heard
find
that.
it. And
Well,
yeah, I've
my-
heard that.
this
It
is-
came out.
yes, but
It doesn't
she-
matter if it came out. You have to look at the physical features.
She
Mhm.
never
Has
she
that.
never said that she did, but we do know that she was born with a hole in her heart, and that's why she
Many
went
kids are.
from Texas to Wisconsin. It had
No.
to do with the hole in the
Candace
heart. and-
Candace can't play dumb super sensible. She is dumb.
well, and also if you look at when she started partaking in substances and math and stuff, she's kind of stuck at that age. So we're looking at 12, 13, 14 years old.
What'd you
That's
say?
where her mind is at.
What'd you say?
A lot,
How did you introduce that? Did you
I
say
intro-
she was being sexually abused?
no, I said,
Oh, I believe she was. I believe
I do
Candace
too.
is stunted
too.
at the age that the abuse started for her. And I wouldn't even give her the age of 12. I would give her the age of 9, 10.
no, that's it. I gave her a little bit more credit than that, but I agree. I mean, I totally agree.
She is very childlike. She does not have the ability to look 40 feet in front of her. She looks 4 inches in front of her and doesn't understand consequences at
Right.
all. She believes that I think at one time she could use her body to manipulate people. And I think that was a learned behavior from being sexually abused. I think Grandis has to take a lot of blame because Grandis is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But then you got Ernie on the case, who was raised very similar, and now he's going to solve the case, you know?
Well, he's been saying that the whole time.
Well, yeah,
I
and I
mean-
still want to 187 his ass.
And the thing
Sorry.
about it is, I mean, Ernie would get him and Candace all lovey-dovey and shit, but then he got mad at her and he, you know, he did a live. I'm done. I'm not talking about your daughter anymore. You're not doing what I want you to do. And I'm like, what the fuck? So you don't give a fuck about Summer. What you care about
Is
Yes.
herself.
is Candace, right?
Super sensible. Maybe you aren't as super sensible as you believe you are.
Oh, come on now.
No, no, let's not do this. This is why we have
Well-
these problems in this case. Candace is not intelligent at all. Is she manipulative? Sure. Has she cornered the game of hustling? Yes. But she's dumb as a box of fucking rocks.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will, you know, call it street smart. You know,
I wouldn't even call it
she's
that.
more street smart than book smart.
I would say
But-
street mediocre. She is not smart in any way, shape, or form. Not to mention, didn't she have a couple strokes?
I think
I
they
seem to
were
remember
trying-
she had a couple strokes.
Well,
Or
I
maybe
remember the Bell's palsy. I remember that.
Okay. All right.
Um,
I thought it was a stroke.
I'm not sure about strokes.
She
I
was a
don't know.
know. Of course.
I
she
don't know.
was.
Ain't nothing wrong with carnies. I was a carny. Ain't
Hey,
nothing wrong with that. Don't
I'm
y'all even
sorry.
fucking go there.
I'm sorry,
This is,
Cotton.
this is the
sorry.
thing.
We all ain't the same.
And I want people to realize I quit watching Candace and her bullshit a long fucking time ago. I didn't need to pay attention to somebody who was out here. Her daughter was missing. It was all about her. The Dr. Phil interview told me so much when they were trying to question
Yeah.
her. And she says,
Yes.
this isn't doing me any good.
Yeah.
Okay. Where was that about her fucking daughter? She was there and given a platform, a huge platform, to try to make some sense of where her daughter, what could happen to her daughter. Now, all of these, I'll call them smart people, were coming out and saying, we don't believe that Dawn had anything to do with it. But they absolutely, every one of them came out and said that they believed Candace knew a lot more than what she was fucking saying.
I agree.
So we
I
have
agree. Guilty knowledge.
yeah, and so we have a missing child's mother who has been out on these YouTube streets making all these friends, because even Dawn, both of them, Dawn and Candace, were like, we don't have no friends. Come, and this is what always got me. They would say, come to 110 Ben Hill Road and meet us. And when you meet us, you're going to know that we're not guilty. We're not guilty of anything. Well, why should anybody have to go meet them one-on-one? The majority of the time it was come by yourself and, you know, we're going to have you convinced that we are not guilty of anything by the time
It's
you
probably
leave.
it's probably not that deep, RC. Probably not that
Well,
deep.
it was weird to me. That
Yeah, I
shit
mean,
was
I'm
weird
just
to
saying
me.
it could be, but it's probably not that deep.
I think Candace just liked that attention, feeling important. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, absolutely, but and that's all fine and dandy. I have my own opinions on that, but like I said, what the shit that was coming out of Candace's mouth, she's a fucking pathological liar.
She sure
Any-
is.
Anyone who has a missing child is not going to become buddies with fucking YouTubers, give them information that she wants them to contact law enforcement with the bullshit that's coming out of her fucking mouth, but she won't contact law enforcement. She won't do it.
Mhm.
She wants
No.
other people to believe her bullshit and them, them being called out.
Mhm.
She
I
doesn't
agree.
take fucking accountability. I don't think, well, I
Neither
know
does
what-
Ernie, though. Ernie's the same way. He doesn't take any accountability.
No. Why should they? And like I said, she allowed that shit to happen. She allowed that to fucking happen with Ernie. She was
She
all
sure did.
good with the fucking bullshit going down with Ernie Shell. Now all of a sudden, she doesn't like Ernie and she wants to call him out because a couple YouTubers go up there to question her about Summer. Her fucking problem was Ernie. Well,
Well, I'm gonna just say this before I pop off and or leave. I'm gonna be restreaming the Ernie and Candace Bly first time meeting.
Ernie and Candace interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be very interesting to hear, actually.
Constance has a
Yeah.
lot of them. I showed a couple of them, but they're all so fucking,
Like any of the first interactions with any of this is very interesting to go back and listen to all these years later.
It really is.
well,
Thank you for letting me come up here and spew. I love you, RC.
oh,
Just
I love
know
you too,
I'm just
Nick.
frustrated with this entire resurrection by Ernie.
I get it, girl.
I get it.
So
I love
bye,
you too,
Cotton.
girl.
Bye. Love your face.
Love your face. Bye.
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 RJ, honey, I'm gonna let you up now, but I didn't want you and Nick going back and forth, so that's the only reason I did that. So don't be mad at me about it. 'Cause
Good
I
job,
knew-
RC.
I
That's
knew that.
great. You've
I
done
knew
that.
I knew that would go sideways if I let.
I love
RJ
how you give
up
people
and
with
shit
different
go.
opinions their chance, so there's no screaming and yelling and.
Well, everybody does have their different opinions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to mute for RJ. I'm just here. Y'all ain't got to worry about me.
RJ, are you up here? He's not saying anything. Maybe he got mad at me.
RJ.
RJ, where are you? How can they say they love a missing child person they love so much when they have never laid eyes on her or knew her? Well, Bob,
I
let me
love
tell you
Summer.
something.
I love Summer.
I love Summer. I wish she was found. Hey, Renee Marie.
Loving a child, no one should ever feel shame about that, whether you know them or not. Loving a child.
You know what
No.
made me love Summer too? Was because her own parents couldn't even tell us about her.
Right.
Her own parents, they could show us shitloads of pictures, but they could not tell us about that little girl.
And
Especially
I don't
her
agree with
daddy.
Robin Lane, but Robin Lane told us a lot more about Summer than her parents did.
Hell, Jose told us more about
Mhm.
Summer
Mm-hmm.
than anybody.
And I'm not a Jose fan, but I absolutely agree with you.
Right. My computer won't let me speak. Well, I don't
You
know
have to
why,
get
RJ.
permission. You have to get permission for your phone or what computer or whatever to use the microphone. It'll say
you have-
permission
yeah.
for your audio and
Yeah.
camera or whatever. You have to push yes and then turn your camera off and then come on.
Did you get it, RJ?
I think I got it.
You
Yep,
got
there you
it.
are.
I hear you.
Yeah, no, I had another headset plugged in and I didn't realize it, and it was not allowing my microphone and headset that I use when I normally stream to be picked up. So my fault. My apologies. And as
Well-
far as what you were saying, I don't have an issue with Nicolina. If there is an issue, it's one-sided. That's all
No,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
think
about
she.
that.
No, I don't think she has an issue with you either. I just know what happened last time. I'm trying to keep it mellow fellow right now.
I got you.
So, oh, believe me, I'm sure she loved it when you told Ernie to kiss your ass. That was a glory. That was a glorious day in the neighborhood. KK,
Look,
you missed that.
In
You
my
missed that,
defense,
KK.
in my
I don't know
defense,
about all that. But
in my defense on that, and I think I've said it to you before, and I've said it to a couple other people offline. there's one way that you can approach me if you're friendly, if you're mad, it doesn't bother me. If you approach me in a fake, disingenuous manner,
Right.
look, all you had to say was, "I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I hope you have good conversation, whatever."
Right.
And I would have been fine with that. In fact, I'm
Well,
glad
yeah.
Ernie didn't know who I was up to that point.
I mean, the thing about it is, Nicolina's got a heart of gold, and I always give her a platform, whatever she wants to speak on, and you know, she loves me, I love her, so we're good with
Nicolina's a
that.
little rough around the edges, but I tell you what, that girl, or that woman, she stands for the good causes. She really does. She might be rough around the edges, but she'll fight for what's right till the end, whether anybody stands with her or not.
And over here, I've always tried to let people speak their mind, have their opinion, and discuss
the same
whatever.
way.
And, I agree
I'm-
with what she said, absolutely. And I will say it 1,000 times. The only fucking reason that I believe Candace even said anything to these YouTubers about Ernie when they went up there, don't forget, Ernie had let it be known that allegedly him and Candace had hooked up in more ways than one. And I'm sure that Don wasn't happy when he heard that. I'm sure Don was like, wait a minute, why is he saying that you two were together in more ways than one? Right? And they also said, I think somebody's got me on. But
It was accidental. Sorry.
okay. He also said, yeah, I think that's the only reason Candace came out and said anything about Ernie at all. Ernie had said that he had talked to them or whatever.
As far as Ernie goes, and I'm just going to bring this point out, and I don't know if you remember the channel, if they still exist or not, but it was some lady that was out on a farm, and that farm was closer to Nashville than it is to the Tri-Cities, although she said she was from the Tri-Cities area or Eastern Tennessee.
Are you talking about Predator Hunter Nation, Tina?
No, this was some woman, animal. It was something about her animals on the farm or something like that. That's the way she started out her channel. On one of her lives one night, Candace was on the panel, and she was encouraging. There you go. Carrie said the name.
Daisy. Okay, Daisy.
Candace was up on the panel, and she was encouraging them to allow Ernie to join her because she wanted to sit there and flirt with Ernie.
Absolutely.
So
I didn't even see it, and I can tell you, I know it's probably true.
She was in love with Benny too.
I wouldn't say it unless I saw it myself. So
Well,
I don't know anything about that whole Benny thing because there's another person that I never paid attention to because I didn't find value in what they're doing or saying.
Right.
Ugh.
Are you talking about this spray? That's our bitch be gone spray. I haven't had to use it lately. It's full. What do you know?
Lysol.
No,
Hey,
it's
if
not.
it works.
It's not Lysol. Read the label. It is
I
bitch
didn't.
be gone spray.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I thought it said Lysol at the top. I apologize.
No, look.
But
There you go.
I do
There.
pay attention.
Bitch be gone. Bitch be gone spray.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see it. I see it now.
Yeah, she was not used to attention, Jaded. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. If somebody came in chat I didn't see, hey, thanks for popping in. A lot of people don't come into chat. They're scared of me, I think. But, you know.
And to the
It's
person
like,
said,
whatever.
the person that said I'm annoying, thank you very much. I appreciate that I made that much of an impression on you that it invoked an emotional.
That is so funny. That is funny. Why you want to say he's annoying? Your ass ain't up here. I don't see you coming up on my channel, but you're going to call him annoying. I'm annoying. Are you sure they wasn't calling me annoying? I'm
No,
the
they
one
said
that's
my
annoying.
name. It was when I was having
Well.
mic problems. They said they
Oh.
were saying good. RJ is annoying. Like I
That
said,
is
thank
funny.
you very much for letting me know I've had that much of an emotional
Okay,
response
RJ,
for
let
you.
me ask you this, Carrie. Carrie, I love you, Carrie. Rude, Jada said. Okay, let me ask you this while you're up here.
Sure.
What are your feelings on Hatfield and McCoy? What are your feelings on that?
I am welcome to new eyes. If there's something shift in something the Wells had said, and I don't agree with their tactic, that is my issue with them. They kind of did, whether or not it comes out later that they was set up or not, as you believe, RC. They bombarded what looks like to be bombarding approach to them. I don't agree with the tactic of that. However, at this point, I think the only answer you're going to get out of the Wells is exactly what you've seen all along.
I agree.
And in this interview again,
I agree.
The polished story of blame the social services, blame this, blame that.
Right.
It's from the beginning, and a lot of people that lived on Ben Hill Road, I used to say it this way: you need hip boots, because all they're doing is shoveling manure.
Yeah, I agree.
They're covering for each other.
Well, they're going to do that. I mean, I've talked a lot about that. Hey, the mouse. I've talked a lot about that situation. It got my name wrong. What it means, she isn't the first to make that mistake. It's okay, Sage. We love you over here, Sage. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, girl. For real. We love you, Super Sensible. For sure. But yes, I mean, we've just seen Dawn and Candace do so freaking much. And I totally understand people calling Ernie out on his bullshit. For sure. A lot of us who's been around for a long time, we've seen Ernie do this shit over and over and over. Ernie tends to, when he feels like his sub count's getting low, maybe, his cash apps or whatever,
Amen, RC.
He so easily will just bring Summer's name up.
He's influenced by money.
Ernie has said many times he doesn't know anything about the case. A lot of us don't know anything about the case. I only know because I just followed things so closely and, kept track of what Dawn and Candace were saying. A lot of what I have is what Dawn and Candace said, very first interviews and, different things like that. A lot of people, I'm not a Candace fan, but a lot of people did befriend her just because they thought that, she was going to get wasted and she was going to tell them something, that they could be like, oh, yay, I got the answer out of her. That has never happened.
It's never going to. You were saying just a few moments ago or somebody was saying a few moments ago that she's not the smartest person in the world, that she has more street smarts. And I'll agree to that. What she's learned and figured out in life is how to con and hustle.
Right.
So that's where how she gets by is to con and hustle.
Well, like I said, I don't, I was never on the, I'm going to go out and I'm going to, show these people who befriended Candace and I'm going to prove them to be bad people or anything like that. I've never jumped on that bandwagon. Absolutely. I heard a creator one time say that they befriended Candace because if Summer was ever found, that they would have the capacity to get closer to Summer being Candace's friend if she was ever found alive, or they would get, firsthand knowledge of what was going on, being Candace's friend. I heard them say that. And, I was like, no fucking way, right? I don't need to be friends with Candace for her to say she didn't know what happened that day. She didn't know where Summer went. And I agree with Nick. That day, her child going missing shows she was negligent. She was negligent in one way, shape, or form with Summer going missing that day. Now, granted, even if people do not believe that Dawn had anything to do with it, it's still a question mark in my mind for many, many reasons.
Well, here's the thing about Dawn being or not being involved. And I've never made a statement. I made a couple statements of possibilities of what could have happened or what seems to line up with things that they've said. They make a statement of something. I don't remember the exact statement of things happening at 5:30.
Dawn said that.
Okay, that's an odd time, and somebody that doesn't drive and takes things like Greyhound to go places and takes city buses and things like that, a schedule would stick out in your mind.
Right.
Down in Greenville, at a gas station, where the Greyhound used, I don't know if they still do or not. I haven't been that way in a while. Uses as a bus stop. The departure to go to Knoxville, or one of the departures to go to Knoxville, is at 5:30 p.m.
Wow. Well, see, the thing about the 5:30 remark that Don made, he thought it was 5:30 when Candace called him. Then all of a sudden, over a few years, you've got individuals who came out and they were adding shit to the 5:30. I think Fred did. There's a couple people who wanted to put the 5:30 in there. Then it was Andy was at the gas station at 5:30 because Fred was at the gas station at 5:30 and he seen Andy at the gas station at 5:30. If I remember all that correctly, right?
Right. A lot of people did try to add it on to the 5:30, and I believe also Don Wells has come out and said later that he slipped up and it was actually 6:30.
Right. Yeah.
The match was the police time. Police was the match of the time that the police were saying they received a call.
Well, law enforcement, the law enforcement, they've never said. The only thing we have is the dispatch. We don't have the official 911 calls at all. We do not have those.
Well, I believe if I remember correctly, and forgive me, it's been a while since I've talked about this. The police scanner, what went over in the police scanner was at 6:26. So it was a little bit before that they would have called.
Yeah, 6:23 and then 6:26, right?
Right. So here's another ironic thing. Don Wells always says that he saw the boys before he got on his way home.
No, he said that, if I remember correctly, he came into the holler and he knew Summer was missing.
Because he saw the boys in the field looking.
He saw the neighbors looking, and then he seen the boys down by the creek.
He couldn't have.
Why couldn't he have?
He couldn't have. The woods in between that lower property and where the house sits, it was, I was saying before about that being about 40 feet up from road level. It's the same distance down to that lower part of the property. It's about 40 feet down, and thick wooded area in between. The only way.
He said he drove to the shed.
Mm-hmm. The only way he would have been able to see the boys and see that he could not have been be able to get onto Ben Hill Road is if he came from a different direction than from the downtown Kingsport area, 26 or 81. He didn't get on Highway 81, the interstate. The way he went about and would have had to go about would have been a slightly longer way to get home. And from that direction coming down the road, which also takes you by the hog farm, the butcher and the hog farm, if you come up that way and come down to Ben Hill Road, you see that lower field first, and you can see that you would have been able to see that there's police lined up all along and on Ben Hill Road.
Yeah, he
That he had to pull into Ben Hill on the lower property by the shed to be able to get onto his property.
Yeah, Kerry said he came in the other way. There was a different way he came in or something.
Right. Which that weird video, I don't know if you remember this video or not, where he took you on a road around, a loop around a road. And it was, it cut off about 3/4 of the way around the road. I don't remember the road name, but do you know what video I'm talking about?
Is that Simpson Loop you're talking about?
No, it's not Simpson Loop. It's on the backside of the mountain or the hill that's behind their property.
Well, I think Don was already there before law enforcement showed up, because that was questionable. Was he there before or after?
Early in the day he was.
I think he was there earlier that day. I do, but that's just me. That is just me.
Did you know that the horse stables reported seeing 2 vehicles that were identified as being belonging to the Wells?
I knew. I never seen receipts on either of those statements. I know JLR put out that the stables reported, JLR said, they said that they had seen grandma's truck there the majority of the day, but there were never no receipts shown on that. That was just JLR saying that somebody at the stable said that. I've never seen any receipts verifying that statement at all. I've never seen receipts on that.
Okay. Apparently, there was a camera that caught that area of the parking lot from the horse stable, and that's where they were. And again, the police have it if there is a camera there, but they would have that information. Is my point of what I was trying to make. But it's possible, like I said, it's possible that more evidence points to Don Wells not being at work for more than a half a day that day than proves he was at work like he claims.
Well, that was what I was questioning the whole day. And no one ever publicly verified that Don was at work the whole day.
No.
Now, of course, it's going to be verified, around whatever time that he left work, supposedly left the area of work and came home after Candace called, right? But that doesn't mean that they verified Don's where he went that whole day, right? They only were verifying, my understanding is from 3:30 on is when Don said they took that off his phone, right?
Yes.
I mean, for sure. So.
Yeah. So, Cotton Candy, yes, the stables actually did have a camera. I believe that the fire that had happened in, they lost that lower horse, that stable They didn't lose the upper one; they lost the lower one. And I have not been over that way in a while. I actually should take a trip out that way and take a look, but that area is kind of not safe right now. They're having a issue with black bears. They have one park over there shut down, one area of the park already shut down, and I don't remember which it is off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, and that's like the cameras at the gas station. Anybody can say what they remember happened at the gas station. We've never seen, law enforcement has never released any camera footage showing Candace at the gas station. Now, we've had this attendant come out and say that Candace was there on the 15th. She went in the bathroom. She was there for a while, came out, whatever. You know, that is where I talk about not wanting to say people are not telling the truth. I don't want to say the gas station lady ain't telling the truth, but I can take what she said and put it in my back pocket because I ain't never seen no factual proof. Never seen any factual proof.
Oh, no, I agree.
Wherever someone may have cameras, these people can come out and say whatever they want. But if I don't see the actual proof of it, I have to put it in my back pocket. I cannot put it out there as factual information. I just can't. Because, you know, people can say whatever they want to say. And if grandma's vehicle was sitting there the majority of the day, how were they driving around and getting, you know, groceries? How were they driving around getting anything if that was sitting there the majority of the day? So I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
it's always questionable.
Let's also
So-
take into consideration that, you know, that their supposed timeline of what everything did happen never did make sense.
Well, I think where this big problem is because Candace was wanting people to perceive her as this wonderful mother, right? Helicopter mom. You know, she looked away for 2 minutes and Summer was gone. She wanted people to perceive her like that. Especially Dawn pushed that narrative and Grandma pushed that narrative. Candace did not want her boys taken away.
There's more proof to her being present but absentee, if you'll allow me that phrasing, parenting, than there is her being a good parent.
Well, the thing about it is, I mean,
You still there, RC?
yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, girl? What happened, KK?
RJ, can you hear me?
I can, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Can you
RC?
hear RC?
Oh yeah, we're talking.
I can't hear her.
I wonder why.
Drop down
Look.
and come back up.
RC, post the link again. Yeah, I can't hear her at all. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here?
Okay,
I'll be
babe.
right back.
She's dropping the link for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't know why she can't hear me because you hear me okay, don't you, RJ?
Oh yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay.
But
It's KK and her selective hearing again. We'll drop the link again. I love cotton candy boobs. She drives me crazy sometimes, but I love her. If somebody else wants to take the link too and come up for the conversation, please feel free to do so. It was a lot, Candace, leaving that property. What Summer went missing. She's driving miles and miles looking for her daughter. I couldn't understand why because I heard she went to the SDA church. Did you hear that, RJ?
They do go to the SDA church.
I don't, yeah, I know they go
And-
there, but I'm talking that day after Summer went missing.
They
They
drove
talk-
by it.
They drove by it
Yes, ma'am.
after Summer went. I'm talking
before.
about after Summer went missing.
As far as the timeline of things happen, there is a 3-hour gap in the day where nobody knows anything about, and Candace can't answer.
And what are
We're-
those 3 hours timeline to you? What are they?
Approximately 3:30 to 6:30 p.m.
Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah, we definitely
And
know that.
the places, and this is why I'm saying they drove past the SDA church during the course of the day, is the road they were up and down, and the
Right.
places they went to were all about 10 to 15 minutes apart of each other on the same road.
Well, my thing is, you have a child that you're trying to push the narrative, never left 110, never walked down that driveway, never went down to that road. You're trying to push that narrative, but yet when you're going to look for your missing child, you're going to look in a direction that there's no way in hell that I believe Summer would have walked towards going to that church, period. I don't see that happening.
Please understand that I'm putting a major emphasis on if
But then
on
again,
this.
You've got Candace at 110 calling everybody, right? Summer's missing, and they don't believe her at first. It's like they were saying, oh, there's Candace again, crying wolf, saying her kids are missing when her kids ain't missing, right?
Mhm.
There's more than one person basically said that.
So I'm just going to say this: as far as I can tell, and from all the stories I've been told and have heard, this is off YouTube, on YouTube. Somewhere in the course of that afternoon, or between those hours, is a typical hour or time that Candace will start drinking. Yes, it's Don Wells says
That's
it's not till after
also-
5 o'clock. After
that's
5
right.
o'clock.
That's also
However,
running
however-
the 5:30 mark.
Candace has been known to smoke some funky lettuce, let's just say, and will take a nap outside while the kids play in the yard.
Okay.
So, is that possible? What part of what happened? Candace won't tell us. But
well,
here's my thing about this, and why I put plausibility into this, is that even though she says that, and Don Wells says, oh no, Summer never went anywhere, that's not true. She followed the boys. She ran with the boys. She was a mini boss when it came to the boys.
yeah, and I believe
If they went up to the junkyard, which was behind their property, or they went over to a neighbor's, Summer knew about it. Summer was there.
I
it-
guess
it
I guess
wasn't-
I had this question. Don Wells, the way that he spoke in a lot of his interviews, he stated a lot of things about himself, right? He willingly said that he was a Coca-Cola addict. He wasn't good at selling it, but he stated so much. I have went over his interview with Chris McDonough many, many, many times.
Mhm.
And, I kind of looked at that, and I'll go back to Nicolina saying she didn't, she believes Dawn didn't have, anything to do with Summer going missing that day. Don Wells, not Candace, Don Wells willingly told us about his life. And It was messed up. He willingly told us about finding magazines under his uncle's bed, about, you know, a crack addict will sell their soul for the drug. Don said so many things about his own life. Candace didn't really talk a lot about how she grew up, things that happened, and stuff like that. That actually, a lot of Candace's life and things that happened in her life didn't actually come from Candace. It came from people who befriended Candace that came out on YouTube and were repeating what Candace had said to them. So I don't know, was Don saying all these things about his wife to kind of take the heat off of Candace? That's a possibility. That is a possibility.
Do I believe that what you're saying? Yes, I do. But I'm gonna put a little more onto that. What is that actually doing as far as Don Wells' character?
Well, it's not making him look very good.
But it's giving him an excuse and self-victimizing.
Okay, that's a good point there, RJ. That is a good point.
He's self-victimizing. He's trying to say, I'm the victim because XYZ.
Right.
Now, if he had said, I had done XYZ and I'm a recovering addict, or I've gone through counseling and I understand how these are bad things, and this is where I understand different things of possibilities of what could happen, have had this summer, we're in a whole different ball game than what he has ever said.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We can look at it, and I've been saying this ever since I first started talking about summer. You know, did Candace make herself look even more guilty because she immediately acted like she was a great mother, a helicopter mom? I still say this is just how I feel. When Candace asked the boys to keep an eye on Summer, it wasn't because she was still at 110. I believe she asked them to do that, and she did leave the hill. I truly believe that. And when she came back, that is when she noticed Summer was gone. That's when she noticed her gone.
What I honestly believe is that something happened to her earlier in the day than what they are what the Wells want you to believe.
And that could be a possibility. That absolutely could be a possibility. Now, I personally, I mean, there is allegedly video proof that Summer was okay. She was okay when they dropped Hunter off. Whatever happened had to have happened after she dropped Hunter off.
And that's exactly where, if you back up to when they went to the grocery store, that's where things started to become extremely questionable in my mind.
Well, we're talking about, first it was 2:30 when Hunter got dropped off. Then it was kind of later, you know, give or take a half an hour. So something could have transpired from 2:30 on. So that's taken the timeline even another hour.
Right. So the reason Hunter was dropped off had to be in if I remember, I don't remember the girl's name, but Hunter's sister, half sister, stepsister, whatever the case may be, whichever it was, had said that he had to be back by 2:15 because he had a doctor's appointment after that.
Well, then it became his probation officer appointment.
Okay, I may be off on it being a doctor's appointment, and then it was probation.
then they wanted to bullshit about the probation officer, giving him a urine test. Why the fuck would he have been drinking a twisted tea if he knew he was going home and getting a urine test by his probation officer?
Because
Even if it was only 5% alcohol, it's still going to show up alcohol.
right, and it's because Candace didn't care. It's that whole, is she sociopath? Is she psychopath? Is she whatever I'm not a psychologist terms that it may be, but is she a sociopath in most basic form, which basically, or whichever it is, that doesn't care about laws and what society says. And because of that, he's like, oh, can I have that? She didn't think twice about saying yes, and
But
we would have alcohol.
then again, you have to realize too that Allie, those kids were removed from her. So that's out there too. And we could have listened to what Allison said, but Allie changed her story again. So that was kind of changed. I can't remember exactly what Candace told Chris McDonough. I don't remember if he said that at that time, if Candace said that Allie came out to the car, she told her not to wake Summer up. I can't remember exactly what Candace said. So
the little girl had a sugar rush. Have you ever had a Sonic slushie?
yeah, I like slushies actually.
Okay. So you can relate this when I was saying she had a sugar rush going on. Those things are so sickening sweet. And forgive me when I say sickening sweet, it's because I'm diabetic and I can't have them. And I've tried one once, but I was like, oh, just from a sip of it, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculously sweet.
Yeah, but I mean, kids love slushies.
Sure.
Kids love that stuff.
Sure. And the reason I'm bringing that up is if you had heard or seen last night, and I'm not going to say whose channel, I'm not going to say where, I'm sure your people in the chat will mention it for me, that the pictures of Summer in the truck asleep on the milk are trying to be saying that she was already deceased at that time.
Well, I showed a forensic pathologist that was on duty, Ron's, that absolutely looked at that picture, studied it, and said they could not say that Summer had been given a substance and she was asleep because of that, but she was alive in that picture. Yes, they pointed out everything. I've showed it over here before.
So
absolutely.
the coloring of it isn't what you would call a cyanotic color. That's Sonic grape slushy color.
Right.
On her thumb and around her mouth, that's not cyanotic. That's the color of the slushy.
Right. Well, I think we just gotta, only Candace knows. And I don't even want Candace to freaking tell me. I want her to go help law enforcement. Help law enforcement. And I don't care how anybody thinks Lawson is a piece of shit. I do believe Lawson had the intentions of trying to find Summer. I do believe he did admit that he wished that they would have interviewed Dawn and Candace more extensively. But once you say you need a lawyer, that's the end of it. You cannot question somebody more.
I don't buy, as somebody that used to live in Hawkins County, I do not buy into that Hawkins County could have done more or that they screwed things up. Hawkins County, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. Hawkins County is one of the poorest counties in Tennessee. Because of that, they had to take the evidence they had and the advantage of evidence that they had, and by putting that Amber Alert out there, by taking all the steps they did, they got as many agencies as they possibly could get involved.
They did a
FBI,
wonderful job
TBI.
doing that. They did a great job bringing in everyone that they brought in. And, you know, this kind of always would piss me off when these creators would come out and use as their content. FBI doesn't care about summer anymore. TBI doesn't care about summer anymore. They are not on the case. You know,
That's not true.
Hawkins County is the main county that is taking care of the case. But TBI and FBI are absolutely still involved in Summer's case.
That's the point I was just about to make, is as long as there is an Amber Alert out there, all the way up the chain to include the Secret Service is involved.
Well, you know, this is the thing. Calling TBI and saying, I'm a YouTuber. I have a tip for you. I heard it on YouTube. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear it. People using these agencies for fucking YouTube content is the shittiest thing to do in a missing child case. The shittiest thing to do. Now, you want to get back to Ernie? Ernie knows nothing about Summer's case. He never has. He never has.
And that's the point of what I was saying the other day. It really is that he's done nothing but spin conspiracy theories that have centered the focus on him. It's never been about Summer Wells for him.
Nope.
Never.
No, and the only reason that he did that shit with Candace, number one, she allowed him to do it, and he wanted to fucking get his dibs in on Benny Keys. On Benny Keys. That was a fucking game. That was a game. And it's a sad game. Now, I'm not going to sit here. I don't tell people who can talk about Summer Wells and can't talk about Summer Wells. My hope is do it with Summer in your heart. Don't do it for the clicks, the views, and the money. Now, granted, I have absolutely been monetizing my shit. Absolutely. But I don't go around demeaning other people for monetizing anything that they talk about that concerns Summer either.
I made the statement to you on your channel. My problem has always been the people that are making money off of this and monetizing it. It's not the monetization. I don't have a problem with somebody getting ad revenue because YouTube's going to put it on there one way or the other. So I don't have a problem with getting money from AdSense. It's the fact that some creators demand and won't react to what you're saying unless you put a super chat in.
Right.
That's where I really define the issue.
Well, you know, I don't care who keeps Summer's name out there, but it's not a game. She's a missing little girl. And when you forget that, when you start, you know, I am curious. Besides Ernie went to 110 Ben Hill Road. I have Ernie going to 110 Ben Hill Road. It was a game. They got there, him and somebody else got there, and they called law enforcement on him. I don't know if it was Benny. I can't put that on Benny because I don't remember. So law enforcement ends up having to go to 110 Ben Hill Road. So Ernie, you know, because let me tell you guys something. They made a shit ton of money saying that they were going to get dog food and feed those animals, right? And hey, Degenerate, hey, Genevieve. So, I mean, I'm like, fuck. That was a big thing. People getting a shitload of money to them dogs. Them dogs should have been freaking eating steak. As much money as Ernie made, I don't know. I can't name all of them, but I know Betty did it. JLR did it. Molly did it. I mean, you're talking about 3 and 4 and 5 different YouTubers all making a shit ton of money under the guise of we're going to feed the dogs. Granted, they did leave dog food out there, but I can guarantee you the money that they spent on that dog food wasn't even a fourth of the money that they were getting under the guise of feeding the dogs. Now, I do know for a fact, I do remember JLR and them, they took food to the food bank. I believe it was at a church or something. They absolutely did get some food and take it to the food bank, right? No, this was a different time, Miss Justice. That wasn't the pizza delivery time. This was a different time he was at 110. Ernie had been to 110 Ben Hill Road more than one time.
At one
More
point,
than
he
one
actually
time.
at one point he had actually spent a week there.
Are you sure
Yes, ma'am.
Ernie did?
No, well, Ernie was there over the course of a couple weekends.
Well,
But BK
Benny
was there for a full week.
Yeah, Benny was there. Absolutely. He was there. So, but yeah. So people can bitch about me running ads all they want to. I don't even care. Because they're not going to some of the people who make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So
I'll say this. Thank you for the opportunity to clarify, because I did feel bad it didn't come across the way I really intended it about the monetary being monetized when you had said that.
right.
Again, I have no problem with somebody getting money for AdSense, because it is YouTube's gonna put those ads on there regardless if you want or not.
Right.
So that I personally make the choice of I don't have anything to do with that. My professional job knows that, or knew that I would talk about Summer Wells and what missing kids online. They never had an issue with anything I said or did, because I actually asked them to make sure that I was within the rules of, working in healthcare, related to healthcare.
Right.
And I never spoke about anything that was related, like not even remotely. I still won't talk about the them at one point or time being at Walgreens.
Right.
Not anything that happened there. I'll say that they went to the hospital. Yes, they did go to the hospital, but when they were said they were there and what time they got out or how long it took has been contradicted by somebody that was apparently working in the hospital.
Right.
That could safely answer that. So
hold on, I'm trying to remove all these dildo in the yardo comments. YouTube will get me for that. Okay, hold on.
I didn't even see that.
I got it. I'm watching my chat. I got it.
Okay.
I know what y'all mean.
And the only response I ever got from my where I work from or with, or people I work with, is is they would ask me questions of, is it really getting that bad, or is it getting that disgusting that it's you know, it's really gotten that ugly with what's going on? And I would answer them honestly, yes, it's gotten really bad.
Well, the bad thing about it, RJ, was, you know, and I'm sure that it's still happening. There are so many channels that talk about summer that I just don't watch, because I've always tried to go by their words, the first interviews, the nonsense that Don and Candace were doing. I mean, absolutely, I would watch Josh from the lab, and Don would be cussing him left and right, telling him he was going to KIL him and stuff like that. But,
yeah.
you know, my thing, what I always kept saying was, that ain't got nothing to do with summer. That's them fighting with YouTubers. So
Right.
I think it's sad that Sheila and Fred, McCoy, Hatfield, whatever, you know, went up there. And look, anybody who walks up a freaking mountain to go to a property where they've never been before, and those dogs come down there the way they did, I mean, they got some balls, I'll give them that. But it was it was sad to me, I think, because I just feel like if they would have researched it right, they would have known that, they would have absolutely have known that maybe how to handle things a little differently, because I absolutely watched Don and Candace both use them for their narrative that they were pushing that didn't have anything to do with summer. Don can say CPS took her till he's blue in the face. Now, granted, we don't know why CPS was there. First, he told us that somebody reported that the kids, you know, had weapons or whatever. He talked about them having BB weapons. But this time, in this interview with Fred and Sheila, they attack Jody Sue. He attacked Jody Sue. And they said that Jody is the one who called CPS because she had CPS on her ass for something. So she snitched on them to get the heat off of her. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking happen that way. CPS doesn't work like that. It's not like you're a snitch, you know, it's not like you're a substance snitch, right? And you're snitching on other dealers and shit. CPS doesn't say, oh, well, tell me about, you know, these other families and we'll get shit on them from you and then we'll leave you alone. It doesn't fucking work like that.
Well, I mean, there's a reason that person was called the mayor.
Well, I mean, everybody's got a neighbor like that, for sure. Everybody's got a nosy ass neighbor who knows everything. But you have to remember, too, they lived there for a long time. Andy's family's from there.
Oh, I know.
Jody and Andy were together since they were young. So, you know, they've been around that area for a long time.
And that's the definition of a toxic couple as well.
Well, I mean, yeah, well, that's obvious. That was a toxic couple. But then you had Don and Candace was a toxic couple. You know, Fred and Laura, I don't know how toxic they were, but that was kind of a messed up situation. And, you know.
So I've actually, it was on Ziggy's panel. I've actually spoken to Laura. Yeah. They both had addiction issues and they don't hide that. And I'm trying to be fair because I consider myself a friend of Ziggy and Fred's. I'm just going to put that out there so everybody understands where I'm coming from. So while Fred has done what he has had to do to kick his addiction and is in recovery from it, there was clearly dependency issues, and anytime you have a dependency issue, it's a mental health problem. It's you actually become codependent, and not only on your substance but on the person that you're living with. So
Well, I'm
the
sure
conversation
Wait a
I
minute
had
now.
with Laura,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
the
sorry.
conversation I've had with Laura, and I'm not trying to get off topic, I'm just saying, that's part of the element that you have in that environment, but they were actually a good couple. It just, because of Fred wanted to chase his and obtain and get his sobriety, for him, the relationship had to end.
He didn't have no choice, RJ. He went to fucking jail for manufacturing meth. He was manufacturing it.
And I understand that.
So
He could have, after jail though, said, no, I need that substance too much, and going back to that environment, but he chose
no,
to
he
chase
couldn't, because
sobriety.
he didn't have anywhere to go back to. He didn't have anywhere to go back to. The property had to be sold. The property had to be auctioned off. Taxes
What I'm
hadn't
saying-
been paid.
The point I'm trying to make though is that whether the circumstances was that it is, but he made the conscious choice of he needs to chase sobriety.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get it. I'd have been facing, a 3 strike you're out, right? For sure. But also, Don says CPS came on the 14th. You had a lot going on the 14th. Jackie Dobbs was there. Jody was, they were all having issues. Law enforcement was there the night of the 14th. So law enforcement was in the area on the 14th. So
Yes. While that road is not Ben Hill, I can't remember the other street, the intersection. It's not heavily police traveled. They probably see a police officer once or twice a shift patrolling, but it's not a heavily used road.
no, I wouldn't think law enforcement would be running around in Beach Creek unless somebody called and they had to go up there for a reason.
They do, excuse me, they do patrol it, but because of it being a known cut through to get around 81 or get through to 81, and so they do patrol it, but like I said, it's not heavily patrolled.
Right. Well, I would say I'm gonna get ready to end this. RJ, I've been on here almost 3 hours. But I would definitely say that there's nothing wrong with new people wanting to get their eyes on Summer's case. Keep her name out there. I mean, you guys hardly ever see me put her name. Even if I'm talking about her, I don't put her name in my title. Because that's not why I talk about Summer's case anyway. But, I personally, after all these years, I do not see anybody emailing these people or giving them a call to give them any information. But, you never know. You never know. Somebody may feel comfortable enough to give them a call and say they need some help. They've got some information. And, but don't act like you're new to it and you're doing something out of the kindness of your heart and say that you have not researched it and you don't know anything about the case, and then come on a YouTube channel and contradict everything you're saying.
Right.
Just,
I
just
agree with that.
you
I
know,
agree with that. If you're going to come out and say something like that, say, hey, look, after we did the interview, and whatever the case may be, they've either done research before because they knew of Summer Wells, or they did research afterward. I lean towards they've done some before, enough to say, hey, we know of these people. We're going to try to interview them. So there's evidence that there was some level of research done.
well, why would you want to go to a home, no matter where the home is, of a missing child, and you go up there? I can almost guarantee you Dawn and Candace already knew what these two were up to. And the responses that they got from Dawn and Candace, I really didn't expect anything less at all. And maybe if they weren't recording it, maybe Candace would have had some conversation with them. But the minute she found out they were recording, then guess what? Boo-hoo. She started crying.
It was almost to the point of when she sat down with the
Behavioral panel.
thank you, exactly what I'm thinking of, where she quit in the middle of it saying, I feel like I'm being interrogated again.
That's right.
It was almost the same act of behavior.
I mean, and then she mentions Dee Dee too. They're saying I did that to my friend. I don't, you know what? I've never said that. Not everybody said that. But there's a feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for me. So I don't know. But hey, she made her bed with Ernie Shell, and she can fucking deal with that shit. And just like I said, why didn't she nip that in the bud? She goes into people's chats. She knows she could go up on a panel and tell Ernie to fuck off. But why would she do that? Why would she do that? But I can guarantee you too, she wasn't happy when Ernie said more shit was going on between him and Candace, because I can guarantee that got back to Dawn. That got back to Dawn. So, and what got me too, RJ, was when Dawn said, yeah, Ernie Shell came up here at night. Dawn, your woman allowed him to come up there. So it was after he got up there, she wanted to act like, I don't want him here. Well, you shouldn't have fucking asked him to come up there.
She enticed him to come up.
She
She didn't just invite him. She enticed him to come up there because she wanted his attention. I believe this was around the time that it became obvious that she had a crush on him. That I remember there being that she was enticing him and encouraging him to come up and visit her.
Oh, I'm sure. Let me say that I am sure that she was running her mouth to Ernie about Benny because she was mad at Benny. And I'm sure she was running her mouth to Benny about Ernie when she got mad at Ernie. So, I mean, there are certain things that I seen that told me a lot. Ernie got her to go to Tina's Hemp Cafe. The main thing Ernie wanted her to do was get on a live, I think it was a live or a video, and wanted her to say that Dawn and Benny knew each other before. He wasn't getting her on there and saying, let's talk about your daughter. Let's figure out what happened that day. He wasn't doing that. He wanted her to come out and say something that he knew if she would have done it, all hell would have broke loose because it would have pissed Benny off. So that's a game that she played.
Great.
So,
Right.
all right, RJ, I'm getting my butt off here.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank
I'm on
you,
vacation.
RJ.
I'm on vacation this week, so you.
Are ya?
Yeah. So if I pop up, don't be surprised. And
I
I
will not.
apologize. I apologize. I always go under the same. I always go under the same icon, and I always put my name the
I
same way.
promise I will. When I see it, I'll know who you are next time.
The only reason I say that is because I don't actually have a camera on my computer. It's just
Oh,
I
no,
built
you're
my
fine.
own computer. So when you said it, I was like, oh, I can't show who I am.
No, you're fine. I got you. I got you now, RJ.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Thank you, RJ. Always great conversation with RJ. Thank you, Nick. Let me pop over here. I'm gonna put Nick's channel link in here. KK. Kai. Actually, she's live right now. Nick is live. Nick's showing Candace and Ernie. If you guys want to go over and check it out, she's live right now. Make sure you tell her I sent you over there. All right, there's Nick's. KK, I would not today, but I was looking at your Frank stuff, girl. All right, I'm gonna get my butt off here. RJ, I promise I'll drop your link next time I go live, darling. All right, thank you guys for hanging out. Like I always say, don't show Fred and Sheila any hate. That's just the way I am. And look, I'll tell you guys something right now. I gotta go eat dinner. But we the people are always going to take you down, Ernie. We are going to take you down. You go back to that Happy Meal. Go back to that Happy Meal. All right. Peace out, guys. Be you, do you. Thank you, Carrie. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Thanks, everybody who came and chat. I appreciate you. Please go check that out. All the links are in the description for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great night. Catch you later. Thank you. Carrie, look, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you dropping that link, babe. All right. Peace out, you guys. Have a great night. I will catch you later. You never know what we're going to talk about over here for sure.